truck. Vecto hoping to get that fight, but Forrester's playing it safe, and actually Forrester's got a kill elsewhere. Great shots at the end from Hard Legion, 2 quick shots to the head. They close out their 4th round win, and I think that round, more than anything, comes down to NAVI playing so safe on the A site there, because even though Electronic goes 1-for-1 on the bomb site, Hard Legion was so far pushed up already that the rotate couldn't really come through in time. The rest of Hard Legion were able to get a couple more kills, which made that site take so clean. And it wasn't really about the utility there for them, it was more just about the positioning they got onto the site so quickly. So well done by Hard Legion, especially considering the clock was quite low. They needed a clean site take, they got exactly that, and now NAVI are stuck with just a few pistols here in round number 6.
This is not the start I've expected from NAVI in this game. It's a very slow one indeed. Doing a lot in that previous one as well, which is the issue. It did let Hard Legion potentially stabilize their economy over the time, and he should be able to spot one of them. Yeah, sees the legs just coming around the corner. Did connect a little bit of damage onto 2 of those players, but try and delay really as long as possible. Oh, the smoke down. Let's give him a little bit of a chance to play around. The issue is, again, Flamey is now being lost over on that B side of the map, and it looks like they're just going to actually commit with that. And they especially should now after that. Electronic taking down one gets a Mac 10.
Hard Legion still not committing to this B site. With 30 seconds left here, they gets that kill just before he's blinded by his teammate. So all is good for Hard Legion. They pick up...
And Hard Legion, they are a pretty solid overpass team, but up against NAVI, we weren't expecting them to be able to start it off like this. And let's have a look. Electronic right now, again being kind of the...
Yeah, it was a nice shot by Rage over on man advantage. Definitely feels like Hard Legion's round to lose at this point, but Simple's got 1 kill back, and having spotted Simple over on the A side of the map, we might just see Hard Legion commit to B here.
It does certainly look to be the goal. We've had already a bit of a reaction from the CD side, though coming in, only 1 from Perfecto. That was a very difficult spot to be fair. I believe he did have a teammate, a flash, come over from a teammate. Simple not able to hit that up shot when he was given the opportunity. It's another full-on gun round that they're able to win out as well. And it leaves NAVI once again just looking at...
Oh, he bought Kevlar at the last second as well.
He was just jumping around and spawn for a while. I was waiting to see what he'd actually buy up.
Yeah, I wonder if NAVI are using a bit of the time in this round to talk things over, almost as a bit of a timeout.
I'd say so. They haven't used their tactical pause yet, so they may as well have a little bit of a chat. They're only on pistols here. Most of their focus obviously being on the next round, so they can talk a little bit here early on. It's not like we've been seeing straight up rushes either from Hard Legion. They've been defaulted out and then playing off the kind of picks they've been finding. Apart from now, 3 of them rushing up long. I think Simple's heard that. No, sorry, he's actually over. It's Electronic, yeah. He may have heard it. Now definitely does. Ends up going down, unfortunately, having the deagle, not ideal at that range. Did do quite a bit of damage to the body, but 2 wasn't quite enough in that situation, Haka. We seen yesterday Masuda made an amazing play with the deagle. Yeah. 6 bullets, 3 kills, all to the body. But yeah, this A-bomb site's fallen now, and I guess the...
So just looking for any damage available at the end here, but there's nothing doing for them. Hard Legion take another clean round win. So the T-side economy is going to be rolling right now. You can already see Rage up to $11,000. Whenever you're an AWPer and you're up to 5 digits in your bank, you are a very happy man. As for NAVI, they're going to have to reinvest all their money into this round. Simple back onto the AWP. We've seen Simple playing on the A side of the map so far with the sniper, which is what most teams do with their AWPers. They put them around the bathrooms where they can peek into mid. But in the previous round, it was the B site that they lost, and hell...
It's been mentioned before, obviously, because it takes so many players, you are kind of forced to give up a bit of control elsewhere. But since we haven't been seeing super aggressive plays around mid or anything from NAVI so far, I don't think Hard Legion really minded risking that here in the beginning of the round. And they didn't overcommit to either by leaving those players in position for a long time. They have all begun to split back out now into the default, and with that, Forrester has got the aggression from Flamey around short already. A 5-on-4 for Hard Legion.
Yeah, and so many times it's these solo fights coming through at the scene are going to feel much more comfortable, but the time is ticking here in this round. 42 seconds left.
That they will commit in towards B, and that makes sense. They have 3 on short right now, 1 outside Monster, and then in terms of the CDs, there's only 2 here to try and defend from the pit, but Perfecto already getting the opening kill. Had a little bit of help from Boom. For the ace clutch right now with 3 to his name already. Pushes out to force the fight against Electronic, brings it down to the one.
About as having down here on Overpass. Even though this is Hard Legion's map pick, I don't think NAVI would have been expecting this right out of the gates.
No way. Nah, they were coming in like, okay, yeah, sure, Overpass. is a map the Hard Legion are going to be picking and they're going to be feeling comfortable on. But we're Navi. Look at our players. Look what we're usually capable of. But no, Hard Legion right now, they are certainly impressing. Forrester, I'm sure, is impressing everyone who's watching them at the moment, as they've again forced Navi back onto just some deagles, a CZ upgraded for Boomage, a few nades. That is it, and already Flamey is gone. They're down into the 4-on-5. We're very likely looking at 9 rounds here for Hard Legion, and at that point, Navi are going to be fighting to try and salvage back up 6 on their CT side, which is not where you want to end it, but it would be a decent recovery considering how it's gone so far.
I also wonder whether it's a conscious effort from Hard Legion to keep going back to this B site. It feels like they've been favouring this B side of the map more often, and by doing that, they've avoided Simple's AWP on A in most of these rounds. And if Simple's left on a B-sided retake with the AWP, it's going to be much more difficult for him to come into play. Then again, Simple's the kind of player who's going to switch things up. If he's not getting involved, he's probably going to start making plays. He's probably going to start getting in your face. So that's something Hard Legion have to be ready for. But with 25 seconds left here, Na'Vi have the information in this round.
Yeah, setting themselves up with pretty much all of the players when you include Electronic there coming in on the flank. Hit a quick shot on the Deagle to get rid of one. It wasn't quite enough, but Kinky, he's going to be able to deal with the trio of the players who are up close at least now, leaving it all on Simple. He's already got 1 kill to his name, so they do know where he's coming from, obviously. Against 3, I mean, if you wanted any man in this situation, you probably would say Simple. Kinky's low, so he may have a chance to try and catch just that one body shot, and at that point bring it down to 1-on-2. Actually peeks into the op, had the crosshair pretty much lined up as well. Rage just clicks a little bit quicker on the AWP, so there it is, 9-1. Hard Legion able to keep 3 alive, which really doesn't matter anymore at this point. They've already got a pretty sick economy to probably do them for the rest of this half, if we're being honest. By the time the players who are up there around 13,000 right now actually start running out, they would have the loss bonus going if that was kind of how the game shifted around in momentum. But yeah, Navi back on the buy. They pull out the double op setup now.
Yeah, I assume Flamey's AWPing on the B side of the map. He's generally been playing over on B, and he's generally been losing those opening fights over on the B side of the map, so maybe the AWP will help him out. Simple did land that shot at mid there, so you see the aggression attempted to come through, but Simple, no, I thought he was in trouble, but Kinky goes down. Rage able to get the trade though, so a 1-for-1 trade on long, and Hard Legion again make sure they don't lose these early trades.
It's not the worst position, obviously, to be in for Navi, but they are forced to give up all this control now very early on in the 4-on-4. If they could have remained a little bit more aggressive, maybe held on to bathrooms and such and delayed Hard Legion a little bit more, then that would have been handy, but not really been able to do so. Forced back off. They do, of course, they'll have the op of Flamey around on B. In a good position, though, where he's pushed up a bit on short, so he'll be able to find that info a little bit earlier if Hard Legion do move back in that direction. So that is one positive. 50 seconds left, though, so Hard Legion need to make this decision really soon. And with the bomb positioned over on long, you do have to presume that they are going to try and end it on A.
Now, Overpass in general is one of the slowest maps, probably the slowest map we have in the map pool right now, but Hard Legion continue to run down the clock in these rounds. They've been happy to do so, using a couple of nades over on A, and Flamey will be tested here on the B bomb site.
Not hitting that first shot, unfortunately. The player jumping out of connector. He heard the door open, tried to swing in him deep with that, and didn't quite catch the timing for himself. Krado was ahead of the rest of his teammates, going in through that short smoke. See him falling, Rage being taken down elsewhere. Eventually, Forrester will return. The man who so far has been nearly unstoppable. Yeah, the bomb ran back up. That's what I was wondering. Once they lost the player over on short, once Krad, I think it was, went through the smoke and died, the bomb just started running back. I was really curious. Because he wasn't close enough. I think he had only gotten out of connector at that point, and as soon as his teammate died, he was like, oh, I'm going to stop, and then maybe start running back up A. Maybe there was a call made to go back A after they got smoked off and such, but there just wasn't time, and maybe they didn't realise, unfortunately, until it was a little bit too late. That was just an awkward one, but yeah, Navi, off the back of it, they do get themselves their second round. They survive with 3. Importantly, they do at least keep one of the ops up, and Flamey's going to stick on it for now.
What Flamey can do with this AWP on the B side of the map, taking it out of Simple's hands, is a bold call. But I think they want to make sure they can try and lock down this B bomb site. And Flamey here, looking at Monster, trying to see if there's a fight for him once this smoke fades.
Yeah, Yeah, they've been having a lot of success around here, so it does make sense. As you had said, though, with the adjustment now of the op in the hands of Flamey, he's up close on Monster, so he will be looking to try and pick them off before they can come in. The issue is, if they all push together, then it's going to be hard for him to find really more than one. Without the help of his teammates, that is. Perfecto does pop in alongside the Flash. Looked like he may have been able to line up the second player there, but nah, Rage, barely taking any damage, does manage to return, and even retrieves the bomb now. So with this kind of 2-for-2 trade, with still 50 seconds, they could just slow this down. They were trying to work that boost there above the smoke over on short, and unfortunately Boomich, around the edge of the smoke, was able to spot it, and now again feeling the pressure to try and pull back a kill here for Hard Legion. And the time is becoming a little bit of an issue now for sure, because they, in theory, could be getting flanked from Connector. I think they are being a little bit cautious.
Yeah, they're really hoping for just one pick here, which would allow them to get onto the bomb site. But with the time being so low, NAVI realise that they're the ones that can just sit back and force Hard Legion to push forwards. And that is not the time to peek with a smoke in your hand. Simple's ready for Rage's position. And with 12 seconds left, Crad can't win this. The bomb is too far away from him. He can try and frag out. He almost gets the lineup, but Simple is able to get the kill on the hold. And Navi finally getting some success here. A third round on the board. There were so many flashes in those initial exchanges on B as well. I think both teams got blinded for such a long time. It looked like it was going to favour Hard Legion initially, but Navi countered with some good flashes of their own to make sure they could hold on to that B site. So that was really well played.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit awkward. I saw Flamey for sure was blinded up for pretty much the entire time up until he did die, so with the op, obviously that wasn't making things easy for him. But yeah, another round from Navi. They've brought it back to 3. As we said, if they can recover back to 6 rounds, it is a decent position to be in, especially if you get off to a good start then on your second half, get the pistol, bounce back. But there's obviously quite a few opportunities here for Hard Legion to try and even add just 1 or 2 more rounds themselves, bring it up to double digits even, and at that point be feeling quite comfortable. Focusing back on this long control, we've seen this earlier on from them. They are going to be taking it quite slow for the moment, and they still have a couple players working around Connector as well, so I guess maybe expecting those Navi players over towards B to push up aggressively and try and find a little bit of info about what's going on, and perhaps then with that, of course, moving into Connector for a flank if they were to move towards A. So they're just covering their bases for the moment while they wait. But no, Navi, they have kind of a bit of a read about what's going on, because they do have, again, Flamey posted up on short with that op watching towards Connector, so they've been allowed to actually stack 3 on towards the A-bomb site.
Simple. Wow. Okay, that's a quick shot. Crad has no clue what's just hit him, because Simple goes jumping around the corner with the AWP and lands a fast flick to start this round. And now Hard Legion don't have many nades left to go back to B here. 2 smokes and a single flashbang for them. And considering Flamey has an AWP, that could be a real problem, because if Flamey's not affected by nades, he could just snipe down multiple players. 25 seconds here. Hard Legion have to commit to this, but they are going to be really playing with the clock here.
Yeah, I mean, if the bomb gets dropped at all, then this round is probably done. The issue is Flamey has now been surrounded by players, manages to get 1. He's going to look to try and stay outnumbered. It is all on Rage, and yeah, I don't think he's going to be really having too much of a chance in this one. Actually hits the leg shot on Electronic, but not enough for the kill. Will go down in the end. So yeah, Navi comes through with another round, a flawless one as well, without taking a single casualty. That's handy for them, because it has left them in the position over where for the last couple of rounds at least they're not going to be worrying about their economy. And they have finally actually begun to run down the money for Hard Legion. There's enough, obviously, for the buy here in this round, but if they weren't to get a bomb plant then going into the next one, there could be a player or two maybe a little bit low on money. Perhaps they'd be lacking the op or so. So this is a good opportunity. You see the pause is being called in by Hard Legion, realizing that, okay, we're going to give this away a little bit. Sure, it's only 4 rounds for Navi so far, but they're Navi. We don't want to let them get this momentum and confidence going.
Already taking early short control in this round.
Going back to what was working for them earlier on, again, of course, that Monster through the smoke, though, it's a very dangerous approach. You see the first player being blinded, that was Kinky Forrester, then coming through the smoke, may as well be blind, not being able to see what's on the other side, and it just looks easy for Navi up to this point. Only a single trade from Crad. They do know where both of these remaining players are. A little bit of a gap in the smoke as well. Simple watching for it, doesn't quite manage to get a shot off at the V. But again, a 4-on-2, this is looking much better from Navi. They really have taken it up a notch over these past few rounds, and the question is, can they keep it up now? Hard Legion, they do still have some time, so they're looking to see what they can recover. they know at least that they have the connector control, so that does give the option to move back up towards A if they want to. And you can see Rage is looking to see if there's any picks maybe available for the op.
Going back up to the A side of the map might be the answer here for Hard Legion to have a chance in this round, but Rage is fully alone. He was just faking that out. It's drawing rotates though. Krad's got a chance to do something here, but as he moves into B, Simple's ready for him. And now Rage can probably think about saving the AWP at this point. A couple of shots being exchanged, 20 seconds left on the clock, and NAVI are going to have their 5th round win. So okay on the buy, maybe
Sitting above 13,000 with their full investments already in, so yeah, Hard Legion, they kind of secured their money over those first few rounds. Even though they weren't the most convincing, they were still able to actually build up the bank quite well, which was a little bit surprising. But yeah, they've ran it down finally. The issue is for Navi, it's going into the final round of the half. There's still enough for Hard Legion to get everything they want. Apart from Krad, who is stuck on a Galil, but it's not the end of the world. They still have an overall good investment right now to try and pull out 10, which would be nice. Ideally, they do want to add one more here. 9 still isn't a bad number to end the half. Well, obviously, it's a fantastic T side, but you have seen the momentum shift back a little bit towards Navi over these past 4 rounds.
Simple hasn't been tested too often in these bathrooms so far in this game, but he might get a chance to show his worth in this round. Missed jump on the first attempt. Flash goes over the top. It's currently Simple and Electronic holding the A bomb site, which is a scary couple of players to be running into if you're Hard Legion. But they're not going to be committing to anything just yet. Simple thinking of going aggressive. He hears these steps and he gets the shot to go his way. Good start to the round from Simple. He is stuck in the bathrooms for now, but he's got some nades to help him get back to safety, and Hard Legion are unable to close the distance, so Simple will get out with his life.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Just get the advantage, fall back, and that might play off of it. Even given a little bit of a chance there on this. Yeah, not going to reface, realizing, okay, yeah, he jump peeked at the bait out the shot. There could be another couple players now beside him ready for that peek to come in. So just going to play alongside his teammates on the bomb site. And there is a really good setup right now, ready to hold down this A bomb site. Krad, though, hits the instant headshot. Electronic has a player already coming in from long. And Kinky and Sviat just clear up the A bomb site. It is all on Flamey and Perfecto. With Flamey pulling back 1, they are in a 2-on-3, so you can't count them out, it is. They have the kits to work with as well. Nades-wise, though, only a couple of flashes, so that is not fantastic. And with the op on Flamey, who's extremely low as well, you really have to look towards Perfecto to try and push in and find these openings.
No, he's not. He's off the bomb, and I don't know if there's time anymore.
until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under beach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Was running round so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly?
While Navi were able to claw their way back into that half somewhat, but only 5 rounds on the board heading into their T side. My name is Hawker, joined by Dean here in the road to Rio, and Navi have got a long road ahead of them here on Overpass if they want to win this map, Dean.
Yeah, and with the way this group is at the moment, pretty much if you want to make it true, you have to get yourself... the victory. So obviously there is still the possibility that if Hard Legion were to win this best of 3, that we could see Navi not passing on, not moving through. So, I mean, yeah, this is an exciting game. There's a lot on the line. Hard Legion, they ended that first half really well, pulling back their 10th round, and if they're able to actually pick up the opening pistol here on their CT side, then Navi are going to be in a lot of trouble, at least there on this opening map. Slowing so far from Navi. Eventually moving in towards Connector and up through mid, which would indicate they're probably going to split up, try and get the bathrooms control. Move on towards that A side of the map, and for the moment there is a 2-man setup around here. They're going to send one up close on long, I presume. Krad, I think, is going to actually look to try and peek this. I was going to say likely to just play up close and have his teammate back at the science spotting as well, but no, tries to go forward for info, ends up getting spotted by Simple, and with that does go down.
Simple with a P250 and a pistol round is always going to be a nice chance for Navi to get the opening kill. You get the longer range headshot ability with the P250. Simple not able to connect this time round, but Boomich certainly can. The Glock's closing the distance onto the A-bomb site, and this should be a relatively easy bomb plant, and realistically a relatively easy round for Navi at this point, as they have a 2-man advantage and the bomb down safely on this A site.
Yeah, they should struggle to lose this round even if they wanted to, but obviously that isn't the goal. They have a 5-on-3 right now. They'll be playing the time on that bomb and making it as difficult as possible for Hard Legion to move in towards the bomb site. And yeah, just all swinging together once they find contact. Sharing the kills out as well, not quite the teammates. Flamey wasn't able to get one. He was just chilling back in the bathrooms, I believe, waiting for a flank potentially up Connector. But Navi, they get the 6th round. They're able to pick up that 2nd pistol. But reminder, they did win out the 1st pistol at this map as well, and then ended up losing to the Force by, and off the back of that dropped 9 rounds in a row. So they can't let that happen again, obviously.
Yeah, it's literally impossible for them to lose the 9 rounds in a row this time round, but
they'll lose
they could
6
lose the
and
game.
they'll be like, we'll just keep going, guys, it's grand.
19-6 for the first time ever in CS history. No, this force buy definitely one that Navi are going to have to be aware of. You can see that they bought a fair few rifles into this round as well. Simple's got the AK, which should help them weather the storm of the pistols in this round. Forrester currently being boosted up. We've been singing his praises throughout the first half. We'll see if he can continue to land shots as Navi test the waters, but don't commit to too much early in this round.
Well, until now, where Simple actually is pushed up close on Monster with the flash, they have a chance to maybe steal that rifle away, but Boomich recovers with the MAC-10, just about grabs the AK. He did have to toss the MAC-10 in, but I don't think they're really too worried about giving away an SMG in this position. They've got rifles on everyone else, so it's not too big of a deal. But we are seeing Navi, after having a little bit of trouble there around Monster in the beginning, pretty much backing everyone off now to start trying to get some control around A. Just leaving that one player in Connector, of course, who can hold for the rotations up if we do actually see those CTs pushing through. which for now it's just Forrester. He's playing up close on Connector. Surprisingly, they're going to be fully stacking B. I thought they were just going to leave him alone around this position because he could obviously get the info if they were to rotate back down towards B. But I guess, yeah, take the gamble. If it works, if they were to come B, obviously you have 3 players in position to try and hold off the bomb site. If they don't, at that point you're very likely just going to have to save your pistol and your Kevlar, but they're moving in.
Perfecto pulling the trigger, gives away his position, and he's chunked down to 6 points of health. Forrester also took a ton of damage in that exchange, though. Hard Legion here without the kit, unlikely to be attempting the round win, as you were saying. But they are sticking around, maybe looking for a kill or two. I think it's probably more important for them to just save their weapons at this point, maybe just hold positions where if a player pushes you, you'll probably get the kill, but I think the most important thing is holding on to those pistols, try and keep on the pressure into the next round, especially Sviat, who has the MAC-10 and the 5.7. He can drop 2 weapons into the next round. And NAVI will get themselves a 7th round win. So after a strong start in this game for Hard Legion, NAVI are now starting to come back into this. And you do see games like this sometimes, where the underdogs come out hot, they get themselves going early, but then once the more experienced team starts to hit their stride, it can be very difficult to stop that from happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you need from those underdog teams, to be able to get those good starts, and that's what separates them then from becoming a top team, being able to actually close the games, being able to be competitive when it is scrappy, and sometimes you're working with some of those weaker investments when everything isn't going your way, of course. And yeah, NAVI certainly have begun to bounce back. They recovered quite well towards the end of that first half, especially being able to pull out at least 4 rounds on top of the initial pistol, giving themselves 5 a little bit of room here to work with on their T side, and obviously are very likely now looking at an 8th round for themselves. But again, up against a little bit here from the CT side, they can't completely count them out. Umich did push up close and Monster into a position where we seen Simple actually suffer in the previous round because of it. But backing away, finds that opening instead onto Kinky and Crad. Oh, here's the reload. Masani wanted to push up off the back of this and will be able to return one on Flamey. Not sticking around for the weapon though, instead expecting this player to be coming through Connector soon. Although as it doesn't immediately show itself, he will eventually begin to move back in towards short, so a good bit of control being found for Hard Legion.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of danger here for NAVI. I'm sure that's in the back of their minds as they move into the B-bomb site. Forrester rattling off some shots with the Desert Eagle, but in comes Perfecto from Connector. That kill should really help settle the nerves in this round as Simple gets another shot for his team. And at this point, I think NAVI are pretty safe in this round. Should be their 8th round. Sviat's going to hang around, see if he can get some kills with the Desert Eagle. Again, just try and remove some of the weapons from the opponent, but the round is all but over at this point. Rage just sitting in Connector with the USP or the knife, whichever he wants to use. I don't know if he's going to get the chance to use either of them though, really.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know if NAVI will really bother heading in this direction either. Since they have Electronic already out towards Monster, they likely will just exit over towards that area. Make sure that they save all of their own weapons. Don't risk any being retrieved by Rage in this position. And yeah, they are indeed just beginning to back away together. So yeah, gonna be living over here at least. So Wyatt's given an extra $300 to the players of NAVI. Obviously had no chance of actually gaining anything himself from going in unless he was to somehow steal away a weapon, which was kind of the hope if they came towards him. But he has plenty. He gets his off out here either way. The rifles and such gonna be plentiful alongside a decent amount of nades. One player may have to sacrifice a bit though if they do want to pull out a kit. Sviat's only bought body armor so far, so he'll likely get it. Yeah, going for helmets on.
Not bad.
Quite as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, it was 2 nades there, right? So I was expecting a bit more, maybe. Boomich only down to half health. Crad holding down long. Mud Legion have got to be ready for heading into this second half. And with a minute left on the clock, NAVI still playing.
Time's beginning to really wither down, though, at this point. They do need to get a quick move on towards one of these bombs. Gives a bit of time to try and get the smoke down. Follows up with one more, and that was massive. Now he gives them the man advantage. You see 18 seconds left for NAVI as they move forward, and Forrester alongside Rage, ready to trade out after Sviat finds contact, and there it is.
I'm not entirely sure, because the way it bounced, it looked like it bounced off the top of the bathrooms, like it was going to land down there. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, not clearing that position was pretty costly with Crag getting those 2 kills. And now NAVI have got themselves into a position where both teams are short on money heading into this round, or at least they don't have money in the bank. They've got the full buy for this one, but whoever loses is going to have some question marks in the future round, and Forrester being boosted up. Oh, Flamey not ready for it. Nice kill from Forrester to kick things off in round.
So it was kind of amplified by that. But now here on the T side, Navi, if they end up losing this one, they smoke off Monster, like, okay, we're not going to give you any chances for those trades to be found back. We have a 5-on-3, we're feeling good as the time again is becoming an issue for Navi. Less than 40 seconds remaining, and for now, I believe the bomb's going to be backing off a little bit. Yeah, they're just looking to save.
Ooh. Navi have been known to save in their day.
Yeah, no, this makes sense. We said, obviously, the economy going to be quite a big issue for them in this next round. Even then, though, 1900 comes in for Flamey. He's not going to have enough to buy. It's not going to be enough, obviously, for Boomich to buy either. So we'll probably just maybe see Pistols and Kevlar around those weapons, or perhaps they'll just take the Eco. But obviously, the issue is then Perfecto and Simple won't get any money from this round, so their money will be thrown off going into the round afterwards when the rate.
But at the same time, like you said, it's kind of whatever happens, someone's holding this initial angle while Sviat waits close by. 28 seconds now. Navi have really got to get a move on here. Electronic might be in trouble. Sviat gets that kill, and now he knows there's no one else on short. They should be aware it's likely a B play here. 18 seconds. They have to go through this smoke. Forrester's ready for it. Quick headshot onto the first man, and Navi are looking dazed in this round. There's not much left for them to do, but they get some kills back. Maybe they can win this. 6 seconds, and Simple gets another shot. It's all on Rage, and he can't deny the bomb plant. Simple has saved this round alongside Perfecto. They managed to make it work, and that's a round that Navi probably shouldn't have won, but they just win it by sheer force on the B site.
Yeah, they just powered their way in. I was still a little worried there in the end, I'm not going to lie, when Rage was left in the 1-on-2, because Simple was posted up on the CT spawn, so he clearly thought that the player hadn't come out. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, we might actually be able to catch them off guard, but nah, Perfecto. He said, nah, we need this round, we need to bounce back and start getting something again here on our T side if we want to make this a map that we can actually win out. And of course they do so. You see Hard Legion spending all of their money to pull out this buy, and even then, a FAMAS and an MP9 being kind of limiting factors there for both Crad and Forrester, so it is not perfect. This is a big opportunity. If Navi get this round, then likely going to be going up to 11 off the back of it. Again, we're seeing this connector aggression from Crad. Obviously, this time not quite as aggressive, only peeking in a little bit later on, didn't push all the way through to get the control, but he will come out on short. Flamey being blinded, actually given a bit of time to recover, but Crad eventually pops in before he can get the vision back, and yeah, man advantage to connector control. A good start again for Hard. What? Is he going to go through the smoke? Crad is mad. Oh my god, and it works. He's just crazy. He doesn't care. Crad and Forrester have been insane, man.
With a FAMAS as well, like, it's not like you've got the instant one-shot headshot. You're just relying on being so quick that your opponent can't react, and, well, he gets away with it. Perfecto not ready for the player in the connector smoke. And now Navi have got to come through with some more heroics to win this round, because once again, their money isn't great. If they lose this round, they're going to be in trouble. All three players pushing from A long. They're going for this 3-man boost, but Hard Legion I don't think are exposed from it right now. Simple waiting, but with 30 seconds, they can't wait up on this boost for too long, and no one from Hard Legion is showing themselves until, oh no, Simple misses the freebie, and now Navi have to go.
Simple trying for the no-scopes at the moment. Wasn't able to connect, but he does have the help of Boomich, who gets two. And also forces Rage back off that short angle. Simple, though, he has 4 seconds. He can't do anything anymore, despite that crazy no-scope. He just doesn't have the time. Crad is there. He gets the return again, and oh god, that again comes down to the wire. We're seeing Navi, despite having these kind of disadvantages early on in the round, being able to just brute force their way in with the individuals that they have. But they need to play out the early parts of these rounds a little bit more successfully. To be fair there, you can't expect Crad to be that mad. You just can't. He's a mad lad. But they do need to call in the pause, and the economy of Navi off the back of losing that round has been completely shattered, especially on towards Simple and Electronic, who are looking at a double eco.
Simple missing that opening shot is so unfortunate as well. When you're up on those 3-man boosts, you do slide sometimes, so I'm not sure if that came into play there, but it looked like to me that he just missed the shot straight up. It's sometimes hard to tell exactly if a player is moving or not, but yeah, this is a tough call for NAVI into this round. It's looking like the full save for them. Not a single penny invested into this round right now. They finally buy something. A dig, I think, dropped into Simple's hands to try and do anything in this round, but it's not looking very likely for them. It's basically just down to Simple to be the best player in the world, which he can do. There's always a chance.
Yeah, there's always the opportunity for Simple to step up and, let's be real, just single-handedly win a round, but right now up against the boys on Hard Legion, who are playing well, who I don't think are going to be given those opportunities over, then it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But let's see. Simple, for the moment, he is going to be working around bathrooms with his deagle, everyone else right behind them, so the second he does find contact or find the potential opening, they are just going to try and just swarm that bomb site. The issue is, there's already 3 players in position, including this MP9 for Sviat, which is just coming up close against Kevlarless opponents as well. That is going to be ideal for him, and yeah, it's actually dealt with the deagle. The bomb as well was on Simple, so at this point, they know that the commitment was coming in towards this side of the map, and yeah, they just set themselves up, they hold it down, taking only 1 casualty, as it was Fiat and the MP9 to fall, which I don't think they're too worried about. 14-9, Hard Legion have gotten themselves very close to that finish line now here on map number 1.
I mean, the money's still not perfect, it's not ideal for NAVI, but this is obviously what they were saving for. Boomich buying a Galil, Perfecto Galil, Electronic also with a Galil, Simple only has a Desert Eagle, and then Flamey's the one man with a premium rifle, the one man with an AK in his hands. So they've really made sure to get the nades here on the NAVI side in this round. As the mid Molotov is missed by Hard Legion, Rage will stick around, but with Electronic having already pushed into Playground, he has to fall back from that position. There is a player committed to A long though. Krad's pushing up here, and he's got to be careful because his aggression worked in the earlier rounds, but this time he might be caught out here.
Oh, no, he does still find the first kill and taking out Simple. That's a big name to claim. That's an advantage that you're probably going to be happy with finding. Unfortunately, he doesn't manage to escape away. He does end up falling immediately to Electronics. So this time, NAVI finding something that they weren't able to in quite a few of those rounds earlier on. They're able to at least get the return on that first blood when it goes in favor of Hard Legion. So they don't let them get comfortable. They don't let them set themselves up in any sort of 5-on-4s, just back on the bomb sites, running down time, which has been a bit of an issue as well. We are seeing the CTs maybe feeling a bit of pressure. They've been willing to go for this aggression pretty much constantly, and
especially once they hear these nades into the B site, I think Hard Legion will realise what's hitting them. Flamey going in first, gets the initial frag, and Kinky also hits the deck. Perfect. Rage saving this AWP will be nice, but some of the other players could also have some issues here. So this is really starting to get down to crunch time now, Dean.
yeah, there is certainly some issues, I guess, to put it the way you did. Kinky obviously only having 500 there on top of the minimum loss bonus that they get of 1400 is going to be nowhere near enough to buy. Even going into the next round, when he gets 1900, he'll be sitting on 3800, of course, which is okay if you want to get an M4 and body armor, but anything more than that really, and you're still a little bit short to the buy. So it looks like they are willing to buy around the AWP that they saved over. Rage could drop over a FAMAS, as could Forrester, but then they'd be limiting the nades, so that's another question you're wondering, okay, do they want to do that? Or do they just want to spend what spare money they had? And yeah, it looks like that's going to be the goal. Understandably, they're up 14-10, they can afford to kind of just keep themselves in with a chance here, if not to win this round, to at least take down a few players, and then give themselves a good opportunity moving on into that next gun round to try and break the economy, which obviously NAVI could not allow happen at this point, otherwise they'd be screwed. Oh, we're seeing the boost though for the rifle over towards Graffiti. That could be dangerous if NAVI move in this direction. It's normally good to be able to catch at least one kill, and then at that point, of course, just back away.
Yeah, Forrester could afford to treat himself in this round, like you were saying. He's got the M4. Always got to treat yourself sometimes. Might as well spend the money if you've got it. And he will be the man on top of the boost. Electronic here is alone on the A side of the map. If he were to lose his life, he'd be a bit disappointed with that, but he's playing pretty safe right now. They're still sticking on that boost on the Hard Legion side. We'll see if that comes into play, because right now NAVI are more focused on Monster, and they can walk out through Monster pretty easily. In fact, they're going to move on to this site.
Yeah, Forrester is going to eventually get this opportunity, and with that does get one kill. Unfortunately, losing everyone else, including the op of Rage, now means that Forrester really has to get it all done. He's been playing fantastic, to be fair, but his two teammates only having USPs is going to be a difficult one, and while completely blinded, Simple manages to catch the wall bang. There was a little bit of a chance there for Kinky as he managed to creep through the smoke, nearly lined up two players with a USP. If he had any other weapon there, he probably did have 2 kills for himself, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But again, Hard Legion, they had very little investment into that round, so they're not too worried. They bought the 1M4 up, obviously, which for Forrester does leave him in a little bit more of an awkward spot. So yeah, they're deciding to just go for the 1 eco here. As I had said, Kinky was going to be on 3800. I think he did manage to get a little bit more for himself, but it still wasn't quite enough for the full investment. So taking the safer approach, Hard Legion, they're playing for the perfect buy in this next round to try and just go ahead and close this one out.
That's a fair bit of damage from that Molotov. Electronic and Simple both touched by the flames early into this one. Navi taking the A-long control early. I wonder if Navi will be aware they're against the weak buy here, or whether they think they might be against the full investment, because it was definitely on the edge of Hard Legion, but now they've spotted the Deeg. Electronic has the information he needed, and he's got the opening kill for his team. The CZ goes for the wide swing off the back of the flashbangs, but Crad is not going to be successful in his endeavours, and now Navi should have a fairly easy time closing this one out. This round, at least. Not this game. Not just yet.
Nah, they've still a ways to go until they get there, Hawka.
Can't be getting ahead of
Unless
themselves.
you can see the future, no?
I wish I could, Dean. I'd be a very rich man.
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool superpower. Maybe
As
not.
long as you don't see things about
Depends what the
your own
future
life.
is.
Yeah, there could be very bad things in our future, Dean.
Yeah, and Forrester, though, still trying to see if they can at least contribute a small bit of damage with the investment they did put into this round, because they got pistols, they got Kevlar on some players as well. Ideally, they don't want to be letting all 5 live for Navi. At that point, they'd be building up a pretty decent economy going into the final few rounds of this map, and there's one going down. If Forrester can get a second, then they'll be feeling pretty good, but nah, not allowed. Perfecto going to be there to finish it off. 4 live for Navi. It is now 2 rounds in between these teams, as Hard Legion, it might be sweating just a little bit. They've only had a couple moments of success so far here on the CT side. Obviously, off the back of the first gun round, they were able to chain together 2. They then lost 1 and then brought it back for 2 again in a row. But now we've seen again the kind of momentum shifting back towards Navi. And it took them a while to break it the last time it did. So that's my worry.
If you have just joined us, it is crunch time here on Overpass. In a very important best of 3 for both of these teams. The winner goes through, the loser goes out. It's as simple as that for all these games here in Group B, because all the teams are tied on the exact same record. So it is very much pressure on at this point in the game. Orb of Rage has been playing very passive so far. 12 kills, 11 deaths for him. He's not able to get involved at the start of this round either. As Navi again take this slow default, looking for map control across the board. Bit of damage done by Flamey, but it looks like Navi is just going to stick with this slow style, slowly taking map control and then working from that.
Yeah, that is kind of normally how it's done here on Overpass, because if you want to rush, normally it is just going to be over towards B. If you start rushing towards the A side of the map, it takes you quite a while to get there. It gives the abilities for the CTs to react, so just going out for these defaults, as they have been finding good success off them so far. Not the case in the beginning of this round, though, as you see actually the opening kill gun in favour of Crad on the up. So that's the secondary up out for Hard Legion, finding some success. And off the back of that, Navi, they feel forced to just commit on towards B, where there is already quite a few players. Most of them being back in the spawn, to be fair, but the boost over from the up may not be expected. It could give the opportunity for maybe even one more kill to be snatched. Fortunately, with the smokes down for now, they are given some safety to get that bomb planted. But look at this, Forrester already up on top of the bomb site.
Trying to sniff them out at this point, but once that smoke fades, he may be able to spot them. Simple misses the first shot. Now they know where the orb is, and Simple misses again. It might be up to the rifles to keep them safe here, because they're closing the distance, and Sviat gets the opening kill of the retake. Trade's coming through. Simple finally connects, but he's trapped in the corner, and it's all on Flamey. 3 players against him, line up for 2, but he doesn't get the final frag. Almost transfers it, and Rage, I think, just about has this. It was a little bit close at the end there, but he gets the kit, he gets the round, and Hard Legion 1 away from victory here on Overpass.
An incredible try, though, from Flamey, trying to get... Yeah, he did get close, being able to line up the first 2, but yeah, the trade from Rage came in, he was able to get the defuse of plenty of time, and Now it's map point for Hard Legion, but there is still the possibility of Navi bouncing back. If they get this round, going into the next one, then looking at an eco for Hard Legion, sure, then they'll be able to buy into the final round to try and play for the overtime. But even then, that would be lacking a small bit. So if Navi get this one, there is still a high possibility that we could be sending it into overtime here on Overpass, which I wouldn't mind. It's been an exciting one so far. I would definitely be down to keep this up. But a reminder, this is only the first map in the series, so there could be still a lot more to come your way. Crad again aggressing over towards Long. We've seen this from him a couple times, but it's not been for a while. Does manage to nearly catch the double kill, but Simple, as always, with just some very, very quick reactions, flicks over. Took quite a bit of damage, though, so it's not a terrible spot for Hard Legion, but I don't think Navi are too worried about dropping it into the 4-on-4.
Yeah, even when you think you've caught Simple off guard, you can never be sure, because he can just land shots like that. And a very important shot to land, because if Crag gets away with 2 kills there, that could be round, that could be game over, but Simple keeps it into this 4v4. Perfecto's been playing in Connector in most of these rounds. He's here again in this one. Meanwhile, on the Hard Legion side, they've got 2 players committed to the B site, 2 players committed to A, but having heard a couple of nades on B, one of those players who was on the A side of the map is starting to look down towards B now. Let's see if Hard Legion can strike while the iron is hot here. 38 seconds left for Navi, and Rage is holding in the bathrooms as Navi bring this bomb back up to A.
Yeah, up close to the up, that's dangerous, especially as the molly goes in, to actually flush him out of that position. Forced to drop the smoke down, which obviously gives away that he is still up close, but he could still have the opportunity to get something done. Simple finds the flank up through B. In the meantime, Flamey had already walked out onto the bomb site, cuts off the rotation in heaven on Forrester, who had no idea, and the B bomb site's gone. This round is pretty much over. At this point, they may as well just go ahead and save these weapons to give themselves something into this next round. The problem is, Boomich right now, he's lurking around mid. He could still go ahead and cut off a couple of these players.
Yeah, some very nice close-range shots there from Simple. Make sure that Navi hold on to this round win. I was a bit worried. Simple was planting on very low health. If there was a nade, it could have actually cost Navi, but thankfully Hard Legion were out of utility at that point, so it doesn't come into play. And Navi just making sure the bomb will go off. Babysitting the bomb at the end here. Oh, Simple takes a tiny bit more damage. I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead to the bomb. That's the AWP dropped for now. Navi's money's fine, though, so it's not going to make a difference. And, oh, Rage almost rushed down at the end there, but he saves over the AWP. Hard Legion, though, unable to buy around it. They're going to have to take another low buy here. And that means we could very well be going to round 30, Dean. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to say we are going there just yet, because there are these 2 guns saved over. We'll see what Hard Legion can muster up in this round.
I did point out, though, that even coming into this next round, sure, 2400, it's going to give a relatively decent buy, but they will still be lacking a bit on the side of Hard Legion, so a good opportunity here. I think Navi definitely can do this. 2 rounds in a row, very, very achievable for them. But as you pointed out, with an up and an M4 still in play in this one, this is still a round that they have to be a little bit cautious in. Especially with Rage. He's been playing relatively well, or at least in general for the team, does play well. A little bit slower on this one, it's Forrester and Crad who really have been kind of the ones spearheading this performance for Hard Legion. But he's still very, very capable. As is Fiat, even if he's having a little bit of a tougher game in general. 8-20 right now, actually. I didn't notice that he's been struggling so much. Is right now trying to redeem himself a little bit. If he could get this kill on Electronic, there's no one else over towards Long Rider to try and trade, so it would be a great advantage and even a potential weapon. Unfortunately, being so far down, I doubt they recover the AK, but it's given them the 5-on-4 and has forced Navi now to commit towards B. The issue is his teammates so far not going to be finding success with those pistols.
I've seen Electronic lose a couple of those solo fights on A now. This time he loses out again, and that gives another gun to potentially be saved. Hard Legion aren't trying the round win, but saving 3 guns will assist their buy, because you were saying earlier the money was maybe going to be a question mark for Hard Legion. Well, if they save 3 weapons, I think that question mark is completely cancelled out. Obviously, it's not guaranteed they're going to save these guns. Navi might want to hunt them down at the end here, but it is going to be going to round 30, Dean. That's the main thing. Navi have got themselves a chance to bring it to overtime here on Overpass. Very back and forth map so far. Hard Legion came out to a strong start, but Navi have worked hard to get back into this game. And now the question is, can they bring us to overtime? Round number 30, it's either overtime or Hard Legion winning in regulation, and Hard Legion's buy is going to be good to go with all those 3 guns being saved.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who may have only joined us perhaps a few minutes ago, because I think we started with maybe like 4,000 viewers, and we now have 28,000, so there's definitely a few people that weren't here in the beginning. It was at 1.91 to Hard Legion, so yeah, NAVI have certainly done a great job being able to recover this back, and at this point they're only a single round off of taking it to overtime. As you said though, a little bit of a save there for Crad with the AK definitely helps them out a bit, and will give them the nades and such that they do need, but this is it. This is the last chance in regulation for Hard Legion to go ahead and close this one out, and just not let it go to overtime, where you would at that point imagine that the experience for NAVI will help them shine through.
I like that Electronic's got a buddy when he pushes A long this time. Hello, Perfecto holding connector. Crad has been getting aggressive throughout this half, and that one might be costly for them because this time Crad has been picked off cleanly. He'd generally been getting away with pushes like that, but this time NAVI are ready for it. And now, with a man advantage, NAVI are the ones who hold all the cards in this round.
Yeah, Hard Legion sticking with this more aggressive hold around the bathrooms, and it is understandable. They want to be able to put a stop to that push before it can move forward. They need to be getting the kills in this position, and for the moment it does obviously allow them to retain the info about what's happening around this short area. The issue is they could in theory be getting flanked out from long, so it's something they do have to be a little bit cautious of. But for now, NAVI, they're not making the commitment. The bomb is still back in the spawn pretty much. There's 35 seconds left. I do believe Flamey was moving back initially. Now Electronic is going to go ahead and get it, so I would imagine with him moving all the way back around through spawn from long that they are going to be taking this one towards B, where right now it is going to be Forrester alongside Kinky to try and hold it down, and unfortunately not really having any nades apart from a couple flashes.
This is still going to be uncomfortable. The bomb is so far behind that NAVI are not going to be loving this as they move into the bomb site. Forrester gets 1. Forrester gets 3 kills on the hold. What is going on? It's an absolute shutdown with Kinky lining up the final 2 kills. And then in about 5 seconds, Hard Legion decimate the entire NAVI team to take the victory.
Jesus, that works. Yeah, Forrester just went insane that entire game, man. He had an ace clutch in there. He had a massive triple kill in that final round to end it, and nearly even getting himself the 4th kill with some insane spray control. That was an M4A1S, man. He didn't have as many bullets as you would have expected. He just went crazy. And although Hard Legion did kind of begin to let that lead slip away from them, in the end, they get that victory here on Overpass. The issue is that's only the first map. That was also, of course, their map choice. They are now going to be moving on to Dust 2, where NAVI are going to be feeling quite comfortable, and of course, if needed then as the decider, we would have Inferno coming up, which again is a good map for NAVI. Not implying that they aren't good maps for Hard Legion, but I do think that they're ones which are going to be favouring NAVI a little bit more than Overpass was for sure.
Yeah, it's the start that Hard Legion needed, but there's a lot more work for them to do here against NAVI. 16-14 for Hard Legion on the first map, but we've got that Dust 2 pick of NAVI coming up after the break.
initial openings there towards the top of mid had electronic. Not quite quick enough to give them the cover as the player moved down through lower, so it is just the trade afterwards. They've given some room though. He's not got Kevlar, he's got 25 health, a P250, a smoke, and a flash.
Rounds at the very least, if not always, following up with the second to commit to the force buy. Krad's got the scout out, Kinky's got a Desert Eagle. We'll see if they can maybe find a bit more success in this round, because they only got the one kill there at the start of this game on their T-side pistol. Ooh.
Apologies, Hawk, I was just checking the audio for us for a second.
I think it should be better now.
I do believe so. I had to unmute because I realized you stopped talking. I didn't actually get you talking yet in the stream, but I sounded all right anyway.
That's the main
I
thing,
sound
Dean.
all right at best.
As long as you sound alright, that's what everyone wants to hear.
We've got a force buy overall from Hard Legion. Rage not spending everything because he wants to focus on getting the op out in the opening gun round. But overall, they have invested here. They're looking to try and take away as many of these weapons at least, or win the round. That is going to be the goals for them. And Electronic is staying very aggressive for the moment. Had some nades from teammates coming in. They didn't do too much damage, and eventually with the smoke now being dropped, they will play a little bit more passively. Krad actually finding Flamey up towards the window. With the smoke going down into the CT spawn, they could go ahead and split on towards B. But for the moment, just going to be slowing it down, waiting to see if NAVI actually have a reaction off the back of now losing that player. And with that, potentially giving the Hard Legion the chance to maybe snatch some more even. The issue is they start now moving up towards short. Just as simple actually pushed out through mid, so he's going to get some information about this. But it still may not be enough.
Yeah, this is working well for Hard Legion here. A couple of headshots get them onto the A-bomb site. Boomich here holding A-long with the MP9 the entire time, so he couldn't really fight for the site, but Sviat has managed to not be spotted there. This is so well done from Sviat. He plays the position to perfection as he catches Boomich in the back. And now Navi have got a 2v3 retake on their hands. They have the kits, which buys them a bit more time, but they need to get some pretty quick kills here. Simple on the edge of this smoke, looking for an option. Perfecto gets a kill elsewhere. Simple goes down, and it's Perfecto with just 24 health who realizes he can't win this round. Once again, Navi get the initial pistol round win, similar to Overpass, but then exactly the same as Overpass, they lose to the second round force buy.
Oh god, yeah, I mean, I don't know. These are the type of rounds that Navi should be having an easier time on when they have those advantageous weapons. When they're up against these teams, you think, okay, this should be a relatively easy win for them. But no, Hard Legion, they keep coming through our force buys, they keep fighting right back into these games. And now it's Navi instead who are going to have to buy up what they can and see if they can salvage out this round with a Scout, 3 Deagles, and a CZ. Ooh, straight along. The MP9 being the first weapon out is a very interesting choice.
We've got the SG out from Rage as well, which we really have not seen much of since the nerf. I think Dust 2 is one of the maps where, yeah, maybe you could get it to have some use on A-Long, for example. You kind of want to have the scope. That's where it can maybe be beneficial. So I think there's some positions where maybe it could still be used, but that slow rate of fire is pretty costly in some of the closer range fights. Krad has got to be careful. This double lineup might go against him. Oh, Flamey's just gone off the angle. Perfecto spotted and spammed down through the wall. Now Flamey is out in the open, and even though he gets one kill, he was always going to be traded by the rest of the Hard Legion squad, who get the bomb down safely on the B site.
Hawka, just so people know, I'm going to go ahead and say here at the on-stream, they're saying game sound is a little bit low, but these people, they are spamming a lot, so I just wanted to say it on-stream, because obviously you can't do it on-screen right now, so we will have to wait a few minutes to be able to turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'd have to throw it to a little break screen for a second, which maybe...
Once we get maybe a little bit of a weaker buy, perhaps we could have a bit of a chance or even going into the next round. We'll find a moment, but we do acknowledge it, guys. Apologies. But yeah, 3 weapons being saved. Navi not able to do too much. They got a couple of kills, so again, keeping the damage on at least and giving themselves the chance now with these 3 saved over, kind of, well, the MP9, the Scout, and the pistol. I was going to say weapons, but it was a little bit of a mixture of weapons, so I wanted to specify a little bit more. It certainly gives them that opportunity overall, though no investment coming into this round from Navi. Oh, there's one smoke for Electronic. Help them out a little bit, maybe.
You know, the other option, Dean, if the game sound is too quiet, is we could just whisper cast the entire time. I feel like that would be very creepy and very unsettling, and so I'm not going to do it.
I'm not doing that.
No. It was worth a try. Simple with the scout peeking down mid. He's spammed back, and that nade almost lands, but Simple's already back to wait. So a good bit of damage done at the start of this round by the Hard Legion side, which has been spotted over at A long. And NAVI not able to get too much done early here. They were looking to see if they could maybe get an early advantage, but it's not gone their way. And now Hard Legion will just slowly work for this mid control.
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily want to be pushing out in towards mid itself now. Just going to be working up on towards short. Being against those weaker weapons, especially, don't want to give too many close range angles and such. They flash in around short. They ensure that they're going to be clear up on this area. And obviously now having themselves some good control. With still a minute remaining, being able to position themselves up on short, given the opportunities really for them to do whatever they want at this point. But knowing that they're up against this much weaker investment, I think they will just try and commit quickly now off this. Keep the ranged battles, keep themselves in good positions with these AKs to really have the advantage over whoever they fight up against. And for the moment, obviously, it is just this Deagle on the ramp. He could get a bit of help maybe from Long, but that's an MP9, so really not being the best weapon to try and come in and support with. So Electronic just needs to go huge on this Deagle. Does get a shot off there, does a small bit of damage on the Kinky. For now, at least, is continuing to run down some time and potentially allowing his teammates to set themselves up. Flamey should be spotted, though. Yeah, a little bit of a one-way under the smoke.
Well, Electronic gets one kill at the ramp at the very least, but the rest of Hard Legion were ready to run him down. And I think Simple is also in trouble here. Gun barrel spotted, kill claimed by Forrester, and Boomich at the end might be able to take a 1v1 fight, but it's not going to be the best one for him, and Crag gets the final kill there. 3-1 for Hard Legion, and I'm going to quickly throw it to a break screen while I get this game sound sorted. Give me a second.
Lage keeps asking me if now
There we go.
win this, will they win the group?
Oh, okay, we are back.
You know what? We are fully back now, are we?
We are back on stream.
Okay, awesome.
The volume should be good. Just letting you know, dude.
I wasn't even sure if you took our mics off stream, because again, I was listening to the stream itself for a moment. Rage, okay, I don't know how he got that trade while completely blinded right there. Unfortunately, he did lose a teammate just beforehand. But I think Hard Legion are pretty happy with this 1-for-1 over towards Long in the beginning, because they get themselves to control, they force Navi back off. Hard Legion surprisingly aren't going to capitalize on it, but Navi for the moment don't know that, so they're going to be trying to challenge short as well. So if Hard Legion can win out these fights, they have a big opening on towards that bomb site, and Simple actually dropped down. I don't know if he intended to do that.
It makes it uncomfortable on the hold, having to play from CT spawn. He's not too happy with that, and he's going to give up the bomb site. So it's retake time for Navi without the kit currently in hand. I didn't see if they even had a kit at the start of this round, which could be a problem for them here with Hard Legion already getting into position for the post plant. There's also a Molotov for Hard Legion, which could be pretty costly, and another smoke for short. That's going to slow Navi down considerably. They either have to go through this smoke or just set
A couple of them as they back away, and there we go, manages to find Kinky. Rage is going to be stuck on the bomb site because of that as well, so a bit of extra damage being dealt out with two more players in the end fallen, so some reinvestment certainly having to come through. But Hard Legion, they're just happy that they're currently sitting up 4-1. They're up by a map already. Navi are struggling here to kick off Dust 2, similar to what we seen back on Overpass, where they won the pistol, and then kind of from that point on, at least for quite a while, Hard Legion just had full control. It's not as bad yet, it is only 4-1, and they are able to buy back up with the weapons being saved over.
Battle for A long will commence at the start of this round. Electronic instantly taken out of the equation, and the Molotov gets the kill onto Boomich as well. Two-man lead from Hard Legion on the A long fights, and Flamey's thinking of just going for a play through this smoke at this point. Considering they're down in a 3v5, Navi realise they need to do something to get back into this round. Simple holding from Car, they haven't cleared this. Flashbang lands, Simple, oh, he might get some kills. He gets the first frag for free, but now he's trapped at Car, and there's the push. Sviat comes in from the other angle. Flank is good, so Navi get themselves at least somewhat of a chance here, but Hard Legion are crossing to this A site.
Yeah, Flamey only having the FAMAS though up close. Perfecto in the spawn was even being spammed away on before Grad peeked in above the smoke, so he couldn't really do anything being stuck in position and taking damage. And Hard Legion again up 5-1. That time we mentioned Navi had saved over some weapons that allowed them to buy in again. This time that is not going to be the case. They are looking at two players there being Simple and Electronic who don't have quite enough to buy, so maybe we can see a half investment. They obviously have full loss bonus going at this point. I believe believe they most likely will be focused on the full gun round in the following. They're definitely having a chat, so who knows? They'll come to whatever conclusion in a moment, but I'm presuming that they aren't going to go quite for the full investment. They can have a chance here again to get a few kills. One thing they have been successful at is keeping the economy for Hard Legion modest, at least on most of the players. You see Forrester and Crad are kind of in a position where their economy is bolstered up massively. Other than that, though, if Navi can get a few kills in this round, if they can force the reinvestment once again, they're still in a good spot where they could break that economy after just a couple of round wins.
Just a moment to breathe here for Navi, to realise that it's only 5-1. It may feel like a poor start, but we saw them nearly overcome that over on overpass. So here on Dust 2, I'm sure they'll be aware that they can absolutely come back here in this CT side. Not as much early aggression this time round from Hard Legion. In that previous round, they got a very, very early 2-man advantage on the battle for A-Long. This time, though, with Navi just having the pistols, they are sitting back pretty safely. And Hard Legion are respecting that for the time being, not going too aggressive at the start of this round. Simple currently fighting for short. It's definitely a position where you can do some damage with the Deeg. The boost coming in from Hard Legion was almost well timed, but they might not be aware Simple's here now, because they just boosted to clear this angle. So Simple could have the chance, but he's not going to get that kill quickly enough. Doesn't land the shot. And now Navi will smoke off this position, and still no real damage done in this round.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected for Hard Legion being on the much stronger investment. They don't want to force the issue and give these pistols up close any opportunities to snatch away a rifle, but they do obviously have to make that push happen eventually, being on the B side when they eventually do so. There is only 35 seconds remaining. Flamey is able to get at least one there on mid, and also connected some good damage. That could help out Perfecto, who's rocking the scout on the back of the platform, but being alone, that is such a difficult spot to be in. Fires off one shot, unfortunately not able to connect. It just gets completely swarmed, and as the bomb gets planted on B, the rest of the players really do have no hope of being able to make this round happen for Navi. Having Kevlar on two of them, especially with neither of them having taken any damage, they can just go ahead and save, get an easy upgrade to the helmet if they want to get that in the next round, and of course just buy up a little bit better than they would be able to do so otherwise. But considering they have that full loss bonus, and as I had pointed out, knowing the economy of Hard Legion for a couple players is still low, they do want to stick around. That there's even an AK for Electronic. 2 more players exiting through mid that they could manage to take down potentially, including the Op of Rage.
Ooh, missed shot from Rage. That could be costly. Sviat gets another kill at the end here, and Boomich tapping away, takes one of his own, takes 2. The AWP is recovered, but it's not going to be saved. Sviat gets the trade frag, so at least denying the guns from being saved, but a good bit of damage at the end there from Navi. And yeah, that is one of the issues with the B side from the T side, is that you can only exit through either tunnels or mid, so it's much easier for the CTs to try and predict your position, try and play for those exit kills. That means that Hard Legion's economy is at least somewhat called into check. It's at least somewhat brought back in this round, but they're still good on the money. They've still got a fair bit of cash in the bank, and again, this A-Long battle coming into play. Flamey forced off the angle.
Yeah, just straight out off of the spawn, Brad, but taken quite low, and with Kinky also burning down a small bit.
Where he doesn't have the best position or the best assistance from Boomich, who is currently having to watch mid as well.
On it. Not so far, not at all. Hard Legion, every single player they have is looking fantastic. It's Fiat and Crad right now who are performing. Obviously on the previous map you had Forrester and Crad who's going absolutely off. Hard Legion certainly impressing. They took down VP the last day that I was able to catch them over on the B stream for Road to Rio. Before that had been having, I believe, a few tough games. So they've been kind of improving their performance certainly over these last couple of weeks for sure. Yeah, the drops I'd imagine come in here with the money that they have available. Yeah, there we go, already an M4 given over, so they'll get what they can. Actually, an MP9 and a FAMAS so they can get full nades.
Yes, something that's strange about this group in CIS here in Group B is that the wins and losses are just all over the place for these teams, because Navi were able to beat Prosto and Espada for their 2 wins, whereas Hard Legion lost against both Prosto and Espada and instead beat the other 2 teams. They beat Virtus.pro and Cyman, so it really feels like all these teams are competing very, very close. Any game feels like it can go any way, and unfortunately for Navi, they are the ones that are feeling the brunt of that right now. One of the top-ranked teams in the world, 7-1 down here. If they don't end up making the playoffs, that will be a big, big story and a big, big blow to them. But maybe getting a bit ahead of ourselves. It's only 7-1. Na'Vi on this full buy looking to fight back into this round, but it's a B split from Hard Legion.
Yeah, very quick one indeed. Simple did have a little bit of a gap above that smoke in the spawn, given a chance for him to contribute and taking a kill alongside some damage, but you still see those actual B defenders being taken down without a single frag from themselves. So it is going to be the 3-on-3 in the retake now towards that bomb site. Navi have been saving a lot, of course, but this time they can't really afford to make that call once again. They will look to try and move forward as 3. A few nades, an AK even being upgraded there onto for Boomage, so they do have the weaponry and such to move forward now, and indeed they will be doing so. The flash is going over. There is a player up close to the door being Kinky. He gets one. The upper rage, I was going to say, had been blinded in behind that box, so it gave a chance for the CTs to move forward, but it doesn't matter. Krad is there to help. He gets a headshot, denies the retake, and denies any sort of hope in the round for Navi. As Simple, I was going to say, is left safe, and he's actually going to come in and take himself one more kill in the end, dropping Krad. The economy really isn't going to be an issue for Hard Legion anytime soon, though, so I don't think they really care about that.
Yeah, it's feeling fairly reminiscent of Overpass right now. An 8-1 lead for Hard Legion. I think on Overpass they got out to a 9-1 lead before Na'Vi started to get back into the game and started to win some rounds. I think Dust 2 in general, most teams will see it as T-sided for the most part, but with Hard Legion already having 8 rounds on the board, there's T-sided, and then there's winning almost every single round. That is a different beast, really, and Na'Vi are going to have to make sure that they can control that beast, otherwise Hard Legion could be running away with this game. Opening kill found by Krad.
Backed away. He nearly had a
jacked. Oh, it's extinguished in mid-air. So Electronic can try and fight from the bomb site with the M4 in hand. Quick kill onto the first player. Goes back for more, but Forrester is able to find the trade. Flamey on the flank. Deegs down 2. And now Forrester has got 3 players against him here. Even getting the bomb down is unlikely, but the spray transfer good onto both those players. And now it's into the 1v1. Perfecto with the P250 holds on for Na'Vi as they finally get that second round win they've been waiting for such a long time.
Yeah, but they need to keep that up. Obviously, we did see when they eventually bounced back on Overpass after having lost 9 rounds in a row, they were able to, of course, get 4 in a row, really recover it into an okay position, at least on the half. Will they be able to do the same here now on Dust 2 is the question. One positive being that the money is not as nearly out of control as it was back on Overpass for Hard Legion. Win this one and into the next round even, you would see a couple players for Hard Legion struggling to get that full buy out. But Rage, off that long spawn, peeks in. Boomage coming through with his peak a little bit late off the back of a flash, I believe, from a teammate. But it didn't work out. The Ops able to snatch an advantage now in favour of Hard Legion. And you can see Simple realising that he needs to try and find something back for them here early on into the round as well, potentially. Flamey peeking in towards middle is going to be caught. That flash didn't blind up anyone, apparently. Kinky having an easy time, and now it's a 5-on-3. They're just setting themselves up to split in towards B, where it's going to be all on Perfecto with absolutely no nades, Haka.
Yeah, it's all about the aim, the positioning for Perfecto holding this B site right now. Electronic is sitting behind the CT smoke. If that fades at the right time, he can maybe help his teammate out, but Kinky's already coming in through the door. Perfecto's been spotted, trapped at car. He gets 1 kill, gets a second. The Tech 9 eventually runs him down, and the rotate has also been denied. Electronic, who just arrived at the doors, goes down. If there's anyone who could win this, it would be Simple, but as he goes through the smoke, Sviat's ready for it. 9-2 lead for Hard Legion. The economy called into question again for Na'Vi. This is really starting to get scary now, Dean.
Very. I mean, we need to have a look at in a moment, because we have kind of all the scenarios there. We weren't really expecting Hard Legion to be taking a 2-0, and that is definitely going to flip things up a little bit. If Hard Legion get their victory, I believe that they do make it through pretty much no matter what. I have all the scenarios here. I sent them over to you as well. It still gets confusing. Trust me, guys, even if you have them in front of you, it's still a little bit awkward to follow them all. But it's easy enough here in this one. Thankfully, it is mostly just if you win, you're going to be making it through. But there's a couple small exceptions, at least in terms of seeding for Hard Legion. Do I have that tactical pause? This is the second tactical pause from Navi. I don't think we've really seen them call one until very late on in the first map.
Yeah, I wonder what the comms are like in the Na'Vi camp right now. I don't think I'd like to be on that TeamSpeak server.
Well, I hope helpful at the moment, because they're in the middle of a tactical pause, so I'd imagine that's where they're having a discussion about how they need to switch things up. Again, though, the problem being is they call it just before one of these investments where all they can really afford is pistols, so you don't expect a lot to come of this one, knowing that they're up against the weaker buy, or expecting, I guess, that they're up against a bit of a weaker investment. You just have Hard Legion going straight for the long control. Forest, they're having an easy time tapping away on the heads. Rage wants to be careful there, doesn't want to risk losing the off-up. With the molly down with a teammate nearby, they're just trying to see really where they can pressure on the map. They were peeking everywhere in the beginning of this round. It's just showing the confidence from Hard Legion. What was going on there?
Ooh, Perfecto, speaking of, has just landed 2 headshots. So maybe this round is still doable. Oh, Simple's a dead man. He is a dead man. Kinky surely is going to win this fight. There's a headshot. And Perfecto has got to land some more incredible dig shots, which he did do earlier. He's also snuck into this position. Sadly, Kinky's aware of it. Clears the angle. Some nice shots from Perfecto, but they don't lead to anything in the long run. 10-2 now for Hard Legion. And really, I think at this point, NAVI kind of need to win this gun round, because they're going to want at least 4 or 5 rounds from this CT side. So here we go, NAVI. This is your time to step up.
This is the time they need to step up, indeed. The double up setup coming back out, that was kind of the adjustment that they made for Flamey on Overpass as well, when he was having a little bit of a tough game, and so far being a little bit of a slow starter here too, but you can't really put that on anyone from NAVI. No one is stepping up as you would expect. We're having reliable performances from all the Hard Legion players, and they already have a 10-2 lead right now. Decent nade though, thrown in towards lower tunnels. There's going to be a boost for the op as well following it up, but they didn't expect actually Crad to be boosted up instead on his teammate's head, spotting those players and been able to deal out a small bit of damage. Nothing incredibly substantial by any means, but it does kind of warn off that short aggression.
Plenty of time for Hard Legion, so they won't feel rushed in this one with over a minute left on the clock. Crad throwing this lurk smoke at B. This is a pretty big risk he's taking here, but Crad has been a risk taker throughout this series, and Flamey at the back of the bomb site's been spotted. If he goes up again, Crad could get this headshot. He's tapping away, but he misses both times. That smoke is going to fade shortly, so Crad realizes he's got to get the hell out of there. Otherwise, he's going to be very, very vulnerable, very, very open and exposed. So Crad, again, the confidence you were saying earlier, it's really showing through. The fact that Crad is confident enough to try and make a play like that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, but now they do need to move on to a bomb site. Time is certainly becoming a
they
limiting
left the bomb
factor.
as well.
The bomb is still at the top of mid. Yeah, that's what's worrying me right now. They realize and send Rage back up for it, but they need to find these openings quickly so that they can actually quickly route that bomb site then over the bomb over towards one of the bomb sites as well. They really can't fight any sort of resistance, or at least prolonged resistance from these CTs. You do see Electronic already been able to find himself one on that CT lurker, but Perfecto rather trapped in the back of the bomb site. Still found one, but it was Flamey over on the platform, just coming through with 3 on the AWP, going absolutely massive. Given NAVI that 3rd round, but they need the final 2 as well if they want to feel like they have salvaged this one at all, if we are being honest. Obviously, they're still going to be going up against a full buy here from Hard Legion, but if they get this one, surprisingly going into the final round of the half, they will have actually ran that economy down completely for Hard Legion.
Yeah, and it's not like that round win was off the back of NAVI doing anything really impressive. I feel like it was more Hard Legion just kind of running out of time and having to Hail Mary it onto the B site. And yeah, Flamey landed some nice shots, got to give him credit, but at the start of this round, Sphere only able to get 1 kill for Hard Legion on the short aggression. NAVI have started stacking a couple of players on short in these rounds. Electronic this time fighting for it alongside Boomich. He gets 2 kills, he gets his team the early advantage, and Simple blinded off that angle. He's unable to land the shot. The smoke goes in, but Electronic takes the fight, and now Rage is looking for the trade, but it's not coming his way. The nade's about to land on him as well. A bit more damage done, and NAVI looking good in this one.
Crad has creeped out mid, but NAVI are kind of okay with that, with the style that they're playing at the moment. They just have Perfecto spotting from the door, ready to drop a smoke if needed. At that point, of course, would limit the angles that those T's could actually come through if they do move out mid, which is the goal. The flash being thrown over, not going to make it incredibly difficult for the CTs to read, but they don't know if they actually are working off the back of it currently. It's just Rage waiting to see if any opportunities will arise, and there we go, eventually spots that player jumping across the door, unfortunately not connecting the shot, so as I said, that smoke then immediately being dropped. He had a Molotov as well to throw down on the window, which is just keeping these players trapped in on mid for now. It's letting those CTs all rotate over and set themselves up. They even have a top mid flank, so right at this point, Hard Legion, they are forced to just go ahead and commit into this, and it is not going to be easy. Perfecto already getting one, Rage on the up now having to take down two as he moves in through the window somehow, and that's pretty much impossible, especially with the flank from Simple.
There we go, some signs of life from Na'Vi as they win a couple of rounds, and they may be able to take away this 5th round at the end of the half here, because Hard Legion's, by their economy, isn't ideal. Only the one AK right now for Kinky, the rest of the team have got either pistols or Galils. At least the nades are okay for Hard Legion, but this is definitely a chance for Na'Vi to keep this one somewhat close, at least as close as it could have been, considering how bad the start was for Na'Vi. 10-5 is not going to be ideal, but it's going to be savable for Na'Vi at the very least. Flamey looking for this fight in mid, which he is not getting given at the start of this round, and with Hard Legion running down the clock in some of these previous rounds, maybe they're going to up the pace in this one. They're all grouping up on the B side of the map right now.
So straight towards the tunnels. Makes sense when you have these weaker buys. It is kind of the goal you see for a lot of teams. They move over towards tunnels. Not going straight away on a rush or anything, but it does seem like they will eventually move forward. One player still on short, one at the top of mid. Are they going to try and go in as 3? Because they do already have a flash in the hands of Crad being ready to actually be thrown over. Flamey maybe considering aggressing. I hope not. It looks like he will probably just stick on this angle for now, which is handy. He, at that point, will spot them once they start moving forward. Should be able to find one, allow then for his teammates to come in and help out. Actually, he does peek back in for the second, and so far here on Dust 2 anyway, Flamey is looking a lot better with that AWP. He also hears that player up close in the smoke being spammed down low, so there's really not much that Crad can do. They're left with just Rage trying to creep forward and see if he can potentially pick off Simple on A. Unfortunately, even if he gets that kill, there's no way for the bomb to be brought back over because there's already a couple players around short and mid.
Yeah, solid shots from Flamey in this round, and he's the man that closes it out with a triple kill. Na'Vi get themselves a 5-round half at the very least. They are still in this game. We'll see if they can come back on their T side of Dust 2 coming up after a quick break. It's do or die time for Navi here in this map. 10-5 down in a map they need to win to keep their playoff hopes alive here in the road to Rio. And this pistol round's going to be a pretty important piece of that puzzle, Dean, on this T side.
Oh yeah, no, it is a necessity. They've already won all 3 pistols we've had so far in this series, so they need to keep that trend up. If they were to lose it, then I'm honestly at that point going to be very afraid for them. Obviously, so far they've been struggling with capitalizing on them. It was only on the second half of Overpass where they actually went out against the Force Buy in the second round. But for now, obviously, we need to focus back on this pistol. Kinky ended up in between multiple players there somehow. Okay, actually, Crad was hiding in the pit the entire time, so Simple didn't get to catch Fiat like I presumed he would. It looked like he was going to have a free kill. Forrester also setting himself up for a very quick flank on short. Gets the one, backs away as they try and hunt them down. And that is the perfect play. Look at the amount of damage they've done as well to those remaining players.
Sviat continuing to look to line up these shots from the bomb site, but Boomich has been able to close the distance. Now Crad has got to try and do what he can, but Electronic gets the quick kill, and Forrester coming in from the back lines. His second kill on the board, but there are 2 more against him. Both players low, both without Kevlar. Jump shot not going to connect for Forrester. He's also not got the kit, but he's got the kill into the 1v1. Forrester looking to see if he can clutch this out against Boomich. He lands the shot. Forrester wins the clutch for Hard Legion, and they have been so impressive on an individual basis. This Hard Legion team have showed up here today.
They're just crazy. Forrester, man, whenever it's needed, whenever he is needed to come up clutch, he seems to be able to do it. Getting himself a quad kill here in this, he had an ace and everything back on Overpass. He has been going insane, and as we said, that is now actually the first pistol round that a Hard Legion have been able to win out so far in this series. Bomb plant at least went down for NAVI, so we could see those rifles coming out, and that does look to be what they're going to go for, with Flamey already buying up a Galil. But if this Force Buy doesn't work for them, at that point then they're looking at the Eco. Will be seeing a 13-5 lead for Hard Legion most likely, so this is a must-win.
Yeah, this is a big call here to go for this Force Buy. They could have saved and just got the AKs into the next. It would have conceded the 12th round, but it would have at least ensured they got the AKs out quickly, but they're happy with the Galils, they're happy with the Tech 9 and the Deeg. And Electronic is the man who takes the early damage in this round. That was over near the mid doors. Simple's going back to mid, but Crad has pushed in long at just the right time to take control of this position. Simple was here just a few seconds ago, but Crad has got himself into this corner, and this could be difficult to clear for Navi, but they look aware of the possibility at least.
You should always be a little bit cautious, at least as you come around this corner. The issue is not having a Molotov or anything to flush him out. It will be about maybe a flash going in, perhaps just peeking in off the contact. This is a little bit risky. Range on the scout peeks through. I don't know if maybe now the fact that a player is showing themselves back a little bit further, whether that'll make Navi think, okay, there's probably not someone in the longhouse, or if they'll be like, okay, he was probably trying to bait for someone. So the question is now, are they expecting this or not? They've actually rotated Sviat in instead, so they have the FAMAS here to help out Crad. He had the ability to catch one off guard, but ends up getting wrecked by the Tech 9, and then Flamey comes in with the Galil to get one. It's still being fought back for her by the boys over on Hard Legion, but Navi have done a good job 3-on-3. And Kinky now, as he rotates in, as he loses his teammate over towards Long, he's in a lot of trouble. And as you can see again, it's left on Forrester to try and clutch now. He has a nade. He does have a kit as well, and he's sitting pretty healthy there with that M4, so you can't count them out. But Navi, they managed to get themselves into a pretty good spot. That's not going to kill the planter, but it will do good damage. Flamey to 44, but no. As he peeks up Perfecto, there to cover his teammate, gets dinked down, but is able to get the kill before it's too big of an issue. Navi, they come through with the Force Buy. They're able to get a bit of revenge for how we've seen Hard Legion so far actually been able to come out with those Force Buys after dropping the pistols previously.
Yeah, big round win for Navi. They are being pushed to the limit in this game, but they step up in that round. I feel like Crad will be kicking himself for not getting that first kill. If he'd have just got the clean headshot, it would have been an easy frag to find, but he
having some good map control around short, at least early on, so with just the 5-7, as they were already swarming the bomb site. Another player going down, and with that, I guess, kind of warning Navi from exiting through short, warning them away, and sending them over towards long instead, where they should be secure.
Keeping competitive though, Hard Legion, with a couple of kills and the saved guns. Gives them a chance to do even more damage in this next round. Again, at least Navi are now getting round wins on the board. They've also been able to get the AWP into the hands of Simple very early into this T side. Even though they're not against the buy in this round, they've got the AWP into his hands. So that's a good sign. Let's see what Hard Legion decide to do on this round. Only one player going over to B right now. Crad with the AK has been boosted up on short, and that double nade stack doesn't do too much damage. The nades land a bit short of Simple's position, so he's only down to 58 health.
Considering the weapons he's up against, though, that is still fairly substantial. It certainly could help out. Oh, the spam into the smoke. I'm not sure if Crad was spotted or if they just went for that because it is kind of a thing that can happen, knowing that they're up against one rifle and everyone else just being on pistols, thinking that he might have went for it. Sviato, as they move out towards long, has actually been the one to find the opening kill. Flamey goes down. Forrester's even running in behind through the spawn right now. A scout in his hands, though, is not ideal. Sure, he hits the shot, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. And it does seem like Navi now beginning to recover this control around long as well. But look at this from Crad. He's creeped up mid. Boomblitch coming back out has no idea. He's going to be able to back away just before Simple can come in to try and actually return as well. So a 3-on-3, yet again, Hard Legion doing a decent amount here with this weaker investment. That was a wild peak. I think that was Rage. They're back on short, trying to bait out a little bit to let Crad see if he can find a little bit more with that AK. In the end, denied it. Will eventually fall back away and manage to make it securely over towards short. Now Navi with just under 40 seconds left, the only real area of the map that they do control is around long, so you would imagine that they do commit towards the A-bomb site. That's the same idea Hard Legion have had, so they've gone ahead and just stacked it up.
They do have a couple of smokes at least if they want to use those for the cross, but they're actually just going to go for the flashes onto the bomb site. Kinky fully blinded, Crad also blinded, but he's on the bomb site trying to lock this down. He had the chance to try and get multiple kills, but the quick trade found by Simple. Navi makes sure to hold on to that round win, but again, Hard Legion keep making them uncomfortable. We're continuing to see this aggression from Hard Legion in some of these CT rounds, where they really throw a spanner into the works and just make life difficult for Navi, which is exactly what you want to do in those sorts of rounds where you have the weaker buys anyway. Just make Navi uncomfortable, make it a weird round. Maybe you can get away with it. Unfortunately, not the round win, but keeping it close, as Hard Legion's lead is slowly but surely being cut into here. Only a 3-round margin now, but they finally got the guns in their hands.
Yeah, we did see the same back on Overpass as well, where obviously they went up 9-1, and then in the end it did only go 16-14 in their favour. Ideally, they don't want to be letting it get that close again, especially here on Dust 2, which is a map, as we pointed out, Navi do overall feel more comfortable on. Words, they are hard, apparently. For now, Navi taking their time. Again, finding that short control early on. This time, not really looking to challenge over towards long, because they did struggle in that previous one up against the pistols. Instead, just keeping it a little bit more default. And even then, from Hard Legion, we're not really seeing anything crazy. Just putting the one player up close over towards the long doors, and then also having the 2 players, I believe, just playing around the bomb site. Not having an op, though, that's the small issue. Instead, it is an AUG that's going to be entrusted with this slightly longer range angle. Not a weapon you see being pulled out quite as often anymore, but if there's any man to do it, it's Rage. He still uses the Krieg as well, as we seen back on that first half.
And I think without the AWP available for the CT side here, they're feeling like they have to fight for the A site. They're feeling like they can't have that AWP just holding long and watching for the cross to the bomb site. So they've got a fair few players committed to A, and that might leave B a bit vulnerable. Only 2 players here committed to the B bomb site, and Kinky tries to take a risk going through the smoke. That's not panned out for him, and it's a flurry of frags for Navi. All the kills they need onto the B bomb site. This round is done and dusted, and it's all about whether or not Hard Legion can save at this point.
Yes, he's been hunted by a couple players, manages to get himself to first. He does also have a teammate over on long, so I was going to say once the peak comes in, Rage should be ready to give him the help that he needs, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He wasn't really given an opportunity to do anything about it, so instead now Rage is just left over on long, and there's not much money for Navi, so I don't know how heavily they really want to be hunting this, but obviously they know that if they were to take that weapon out of his hands right now, then it's going to severely limit his buy in the next round for them. They get 2,900, they'll all be looking at maybe just some pistols and potentially Kevlar, but you wouldn't be expecting a lot to come out in this next round from Hard Legion, even if the AUG is saved over. But there we go, Simple going to make his way out long. The first kill is found for Rage, but not ready for Perfecto, who had already closed in the distance down long. He was being a little bit more quiet about it. 11-9, 2 rounds now in the difference, as Navi have done a good job being able to actually pull back 4 rounds in a row here. And likely a 5th off the back of that one, as we pointed out, with only pistols in this one.
Yeah, I think Hard Legion here will especially want to make sure they save for some AWPs now. At least one AWP on their CT side. Dust 2 is a map where having the sniper is very, very valuable on the CT side. I think holding the A site with the AWP maybe gives you some more options of not having to commit so many players to holding A. Maybe you can have a faster rotate, which was kind of the issue in that round as they lost B so quickly. Nice flashes here from Electronic, by the way, getting some flash assists on both these frags. And it looks like this time round, the pistols from Hard Legion won't be quite as costly for NAVI.
That's what they need as well. They want to build up a little bit of a buffer with that economy for if they do end up having a bit more trouble, if they end up losing a round or two. This is the round that they are actually going to be doing it in. I highly doubt Rage finds anything now with a USB. He's pushed all the way up mid, so he's trying to maybe see if there was anyone lurking around a little bit further back again. Does actually get the upgrade to the Deagle at least, but he doesn't really care about saving this, I wouldn't imagine. We'll probably stick around and see if anyone's going to come in this direction towards the end of it. But he'll have a while to chill.
Rage is the AWPer of the Hard Legion team, so
yeah, could be a nice save.
Yeah, maybe having a secondary pistol is worth his while. Oh, no, apparently not.
Denied by Electronic. I don't think he cares too much. With the full loss bonus as well, he's still 6,400. He probably won't buy up a pistol just because you'd prioritize the nades behind the op most likely. But I don't think he's going to be too worried about that for himself. He does have the op, that's the main weapon. They have the full investment again coming back out on Hard Legion. But ideally they need to win this one, otherwise Navi are likely going to be reclaiming the lead for themselves here on Dust 2, and at that point then you do really become worried for Hard Legion. Once they lose the lead on a map like Dust 2, once the momentum gets going for a team like Navi as well, it can be very difficult to stop, and we only seen it really being scraped out at the end of Overpass for Hard Legion.
Quick mid-aggression from Navi in this round, taking control of short, where Sviat is waiting for them. Smoke in hand right now, he's got to be careful, they're closing the distance, and Rage has got a flashbang being lined up from behind. If this is on point, this could be huge. Sviat about to round the corner, doesn't really spot the players, and he's playing it very safe there, but Rage is the man who lands the shot to start this round. That AWP finally coming into play for Hard Legion, and it has instant impact in this round.
Electronic being the man who's gone early on, I would say one of the top performers for Navi, but everyone at the moment for them is contributing on a fairly equal basis. So you definitely can't count them out of being able to recover this one. A little bit of pressure on towards mid. The issue is Kinky smoked it off himself, so he should be able to notice that no one's actually pushed out off the back of it. But it did for a moment pull Sviat down into the CT spawn and reposition him. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult now for him to help out, especially with those smokes going down. You can see that one on the box, of course, stops him from really being able to see the heads as they cross over. So instead, it is going to be the op of Rage that needs to find a bit more as they move on towards the bomb site, playing around the smoke. Unfortunately, not able to really react in time. Wasn't scoped in. Boomich just peeks through with a flash from Perfecto, who actually himself gets blinded. Has a little bit of revenge there over on short. So a good recovery from Kinky, and they do now have the man advantage working in towards this retake. The issue is only the one kit nades-wise, just a few flashes remaining at this point, but they do have the T's trapped in around the bomb site, so they're feeling forced to take the fights. Flamey already getting one. Boomich peeks towards long and regains the control. Suddenly it's all on Forrester. I was going to say and Kinky, but he was gone before I could finish the sentence. And yeah, Forrester realizing that with his teammate gone, he needs to be gone too, but he wants to do so staying alive, so he retreats with that AK to carry it over. But Navi, they've done it. They've tied up the scoreline now at 11-11.
Yeah, it was almost like Navi there in the 3v4 from the site. They were the ones that were kind of taking initiative and taking the fight to their opponents. And I don't think Hard Legion were expecting that push to come in at A long. That was a really well-played round by Navi. Good decision to go for that push at long. They were hoping that the AWP could lock down the A-bomb site. That's what they were relying on the Hard Legion side of things. But once those nades came into play, once Navi closed the distance, Boomich just went flying around the corner. Rage couldn't land the close-range shot. Maybe that was the sort of range where a pistol could have been useful for him, but he didn't have it. He had to go with the AWP, and unfortunately for Hard Legion, this is now an even scoreline. Navi getting themselves back into it here on Dust 2. And Forrester has the saved AK, but other than that, it's pistols across the board for Hard Legion. Ooh.
a bit of a messed up Molotov from Electronic. It pins him in the corner. Thankfully, that is it. Not actually going to be doing any damage to him, so they're good. They have plenty of nades left as well. They know they're up against the weaker buy. It's just a small setback, Hawk. We don't have to worry, or at least we hope we don't have to. There is a Deagle here for Rage that does want to take the fight on towards tunnels. Being the actual sole B defender right now, though, it makes that quite risky, because if he goes down, the bomb site is gone. Had Kinky rotate up through the door as quick as he could to try and help out, but not going to be finding success there either. There was also Navi pressured out mid, being able to cut off the rotations, and with that now, the bomb is just going to be ran back around towards that B bomb site. The goal of the remaining players just being to, at this point, try and get a couple of kills and maybe steal away some weapons, but that isn't allowed either. There were still a few Navi players lurking around, not expected. Navi have gone ahead and claimed themselves the lead for what I believe is the first time now. Yeah, because they were down 8-1 at one point, so that is their first time to be able to actually get themselves into the lead. And Hard Legion, yeah, you've got to be worried now if you are Hard Legion.
Yeah, Navi are really hitting their stride right now, and if they're not careful on the Hard Legion side of things, they might not be able to catch Navi. Flashes on long are really good. Sviat had to turn away, and he was still blinded. Another flash comes in. Fantastic flashbangs from Navi to get the early advantage in this round, and Perfecto is flying up through short. They're not ready for this. Perfecto finally gets the kill. It's actually Flamey who had to help him out, but the outcome is the same. Navi get all the kills onto this A bomb site, and a faster play from Navi pays off for them.
Yeah, just, I guess you've seen just the entire T side so far. Navi have warmed up, they've been hitting their shots, kind of a reverse of what we had for Hard Legion, unfortunately, back on their T side, where now they've all kind of plateaued in terms of their individual performance, and the rounds here from Navi have been a lot more convincing than most of them were from Hard Legion back on their T side, if you're having a look. At least the last few, they've been living with 4, 5, 3, 5, and then 3 before that. So you can see, obviously, because of that, the economy is completely out of control for Navi. Hard Legion are not going to be having an easier round here if they actually want to make this comeback happen. Pretty much every single one of them, even if they start winning, is going to be a full gun round for Navi. And this one, at least, is only a scout and a few pistols, and Crad, trying to beak up through mid, actually gets dinked down through the corner of the door. So, not the ideal start. He dealt out a small bit of damage himself. Nothing quite as substantial, though, brings Simple down to 60.
Hard Legion right now would really love a round win. It's not looking too likely for them, though, with this buy. Flash goes into short, but there's a smoke from the CTs, which will slow Navi down. Not much utility left for Hard Legion now, though. Just a single flashbang in Sviat's back pocket. Rage holding this angle. A very tight angle, and... What? How does he get that kill? Rage just spamming through the door. Actually finds the headshot. A little bit of luck, perhaps, but maybe that's what Hard Legion need to try and put up a fight in this round.
Looking for more. This time he can actually see his opponents. Unfortunately, not being able to connect with the Deagle as of yet. It was actually Forrester, I believe, there who was shooting them ones off. Rage had been in the spawn, but he moved back down for a moment. He's only now positioning himself to try and spot that short cross, and Electronic was already ready for it. So it's all on Crad. 2 health. He was tagged up in the beginning of this round, of course, and actually did manage to get a shot off on Flamey. Not quite the kill. So despite the damage being done there onto a few of those remaining players, unfortunately it's not really allowed to amount to anything. They weren't able to get any more kills off the back of it, and as we had already pointed out as well, Navi don't really have to worry about that economy for the rest of this game. At this point they have plenty of money, and Hard Legion, they have probably just this one last attempt at a gun round. If this one doesn't go their way, they'll be working with a weaker investment, probably some FAMASs and such coming into the next one, unless they're able to save over weapons. So this one is pretty much do or die for them right now. If we see Navi managing to find this, it is very likely that we will be heading on to map number 3.
And I think another point worth mentioning here is that it's not just been Simple carrying Navi, kicking and screaming to victory. It's been the rest of the players also stepping up. Boomich has 20 kills, Perfecto has 17. Simple's been pretty much middle of the road for them. It's been a team effort here from Navi, which is what we needed to see. Forrester here, though, locking down B. Huge damage done. Kinky eventually gets another kill through the smoke. This is a good start to the round for the Hard Legion, but with Boomich getting 1 kill back, they've got to be a bit careful. Crad's in spawn, though. Great position for Crad, but he only gets 1 kill. Boomich lands the long-range headshot, and Navi keep themselves alive in this round, but Boomich somehow still alive on 13 health as they move into short.
Perhaps he can still contribute a bit here alongside Simple. Manny, who said hasn't had to carry them towards this finish line so far, but this would be a great time for him to step up. We know he's always capable of it. For the moment, was actually just rocking the Deagle. We'll eventually swap the op over towards Boomich. So now he's got the AK. That'll give him the ability to try and move forward, create a little bit more space for them to work with. For the moment, though, Hard Legion are playing this safe. They have the op back on the corner. That's Rage over on long. They have Forrester down in the spawn, who will eventually be able to find Boomich coming up through short. And with a flash over, although it didn't blind them, Simple, it did give a little bit of room for them to back that second player towards the bomb site. Forrester, though, does end up falling. The issue is for Simple, he's trapped in between both of these players, and he is completely aware of it. Somehow manages to get the bomb and move on towards the site, and may even plant with that. He's been walled down even lower, though. And may not have heard that drop into the spawn either. No, it doesn't seem like it.
Oh, he's got to be dead. Oh, missed shot. Yeah, that's going to cost him. Kinky's already close range. Simple was in a really tough position there. To even get onto the bomb site was pretty well done, but with that player close by that he was not aware of, he had no chance at the round. So Hard Legion finally get another round on the board. It's been a long time coming for them, but they get their 12th round win, and they will try and keep that going into this next one. Obviously, Navi's money is absolutely fine. Boomich still has $16,000, so he'll be buying an AK. Simple's got the AWP. And let's see if Hard Legion can continue to put up a fight in this next round as they stack 4 players onto the A side of the map. We could see some early battles here on A long.
Looks like we will for sure. Electronic actually dropped the smoke before swinging back in for the fight. Kinky trying to cross over to the pick gets absolutely wrecked with an instant headshot, and it seems like that's forced the rest of Hard Legion to just give up this long control. Maybe thinking there was more than just a single player. Have they moved back to try and put anyone on short, though, is the question? It doesn't seem like it. No, they're going to take the gamble. They're going to stack up around mid. And for the moment, as the short control is being taken by Navi, they've set themselves up perfectly for this A split. You can see Hard Legion moving back in as quickly as they can to try and put up a defense. They'll even attempt to boost the op, I believe. For now, though, that's not going to be the goal. Rage just chilling around on that angle. Gets destroyed by Flamey. And yeah, they should have this bomb site. They do have a smoke, only one though. So crossing the bomb over could be a little bit of an issue. They expect the flank from Crad, who has been just aggressive for this entire series so far. So you always need to be cautious of that. This really has to be the save.
Yeah, well, one of them's saving, and CS... Yeah,
he's trying to get the op. Nah, it's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I think he was trying to get the op to carry over, just so that they could give that to Rage in the next round, or whoever really wanted to use it. And yeah, Navi, with so much money, they're not going to really stop trying to hunt down Forrester at all. He's going to need to run this time down, and he might even have to try and fight for it as well. With Boomich getting fairly close with a player coming in through spawn as well, there is certainly a bit of time for them to try and retrieve this M4 and deny any weapons really in this final round, or potentially final round. There's one. Oh, and he should escape on the B now. Oh, baby! Oh, so close. He just about survived. I was honestly worried that Simple was about to strafe around the corner and knife him.
Yeah.
that's what was worrying me a little bit, because that's an incredibly simple thing to do.
Can you smell that, Dean? I smell an auto sniper. Flamey's picked it up here. They're so rich that they are going to be spamming the mid-cross. We'll see if Hard Legion get across safely. Oh wait, where's the auto gone? They're not even using it. Nah, they're just going to go 4 players in B tunnels. This might just be a quick B play to end this out. Boomich is running in through mid. The Molotov has slowed them down, but with all the Navi players grouped up in B tunnels, you've got to feel like they're going to do something funky here.
Yeah, Crad has been able to find one up close on that mid-smoke as they pushed in. Forrester waiting up close on B as well. This is a risky play from Navi to just try and go straight through that B smoke, and Forrester makes them pay the price. Taking out 3 as they move forward, even tagging up Simple through the smoke, I believe, as well, down to 45, as Simple being left in a 1-on-5 realizes his chances are pretty much 0, so he gets rid of that up. He's like, yeah, you're not having that next round. And that doesn't really cost them a lot, because they have plenty to buy up in this next round either way, and then we'll still have enough afterwards. He's even got the auto sniper back from the spawn now.
Ah, this was the plan for the auto sniper the whole time. Simple's going to 1v5 with it instead.
They were like, we'll try rush B. If it ends up in a 1-on-5, just grab the auto and just do what you can.
Oh god.
He's probably going to throw that away as well, I'd imagine. You don't want to give that to the CTs, but then again, it's not quite as good as the op. I don't know if they're going to want to retrieve it themselves. Crad, he may consider it. Nah, he's like, nah, I'll take the molly. That's fine. But I don't want the auto sniper.
think that's fair enough. Hard Legion sticking with the rifles. They can't afford the AWP though, sadly. So it is just the AKs, mostly, for the CT side. But yeah, really ballsy call from Navi there to just go for a straight up B play. You're basically relying on those flashbangs to be incredible. And because Forrester was close and doesn't get blinded, he just sprays away and gets 3 kills. And that's the round over and done with. Some early nades on long. Boomich had the spawn to try and take the peak with the AWP, but he's unable to land the shot early in the round, so he goes back to the AK that he's got at T-spawn, and it's just going to be simple sticking with the single AWP for Navi, as you would expect.
Yeah, I wouldn't really expect it to be given to anyone else unless it's really based on spawns. Flamey is the secondary
Oh, he's
over.
picked
He's still
out
going to be rocking this one back into spawn for a second. Yeah, he's gone ahead and taken it just to see if, I guess, he could spam someone down on mid or something, but even then he got rid of it instantly. He didn't really try and spot anyone. He just shot one bullet through the door, retrieved his AK, and has moved back now to join up with his teammates for whatever the plan is. For the moment, though, he is holding for that long aggression while they take short. Expected maybe as they show so much presence on short that Hard Legion might react by pushing in through the long doors, which wouldn't be too surprising. They've been quite aggressive overall, but for the last little while Navi have been controlling here on the D side, Hard Legion haven't been looking nearly as confident in their own plays. Forrester, though, actually getting a chance on mid because Boomich blinded himself, follows up with a second onto Electronic, and suddenly it's a 2-man advantage for Hard Legion. That long aggression eventually did come in, just as Flamey no longer expected it.
There was only one man on the B site. If they smoked CT or if they got that kill, Navi could have split B so easily here, but now it's gone against them. It's a 2v4 for Navi to try and overcome. There is a player behind the doors. That smoke is a bit awkward as well. It's a bit out in the open, so it's something they've got to be aware of. Simple and Perfecto have won rounds between them previously. A 2v4 to try and win this time. Oh, the flash is so good. What? Simple lands the no-scope, but he's not going to get the second chance. Perfecto with 3 players. First kill found. He's trapped in the corner. Perfecto, only 2 health left. Surely he can't win this. AK in hand, he looks for the kill, but Sviat is able to hunt him down, and Hard Legion take us to round 30. This series is giving us some very close maps already, Dean.
Yeah, this has been fantastic so far. It ended up going 16-14 to Hard Legion back on the first map of Overpass. Right now it's 15-14. It's going the full way, 30 rounds, maybe even more if Hard Legion can get this final one to send it into an overtime. But Navi, they still have money. They're looking to go ahead and close this out in regulation, of course. And this is their last chance to do so. They're not going to be lacking at all. As I said, plenty. Flamey, he should have a weapon. Yes, there's an AK just waiting on the ground for him. No crazy ops being afforded here just to be left in the spawn. Straight out on long though off of that spawn. A good nade came in, actually doing quite a bit of damage. It is going to slow the T's down on their push, and Krad has an interest in smoke to try and play around. They believe, though, he has been spotted. At the very least, they were spamming it, so Krad taking down low, forced back off a little bit more passively now in the pit. But he also has teammates waiting around on this corner still. They're waiting for the contact to be found so that they can flash in and face this together. There's actually 4 players around here.
Yeah, Krad's called upon the entire army to defend him, it seems. He's got so many bodyguards, but can they keep him safe? Sviat gets a kill, Krag gets 1. It's back to a 3v3 on the trades, and Flamey gets a shot straight through that smoke. He may have spotted Sviat, he may have heard him. Either way, he's got the kill, and Navi have a 3v2 to try and close out this map.
Yeah, with a minute remaining as well. They do know at least one more of those players, I believe, are around on long. They did spot Rage, having fired off a shot a little while ago, but they don't really know if he could have moved back. They don't know exactly where these CTs are positioned, but they have seemed to have actually made the correct decision to bring this back over towards B. It's only really now that we're seeing the rotation coming in from Forrester, so he's probably not going to get in position unless he runs in right now. At the moment, though, not being sure if they could have already creeped out onto B, he is making what was probably the correct decision to not go in on his own. Actually does eventually peek forward just to catch the timing on them as they move out of the tunnels. Rage has the ability to try and wallbang them as they cross, and that's good damage. It could help out this nade, but actually getting the kill, unfortunately not lined up straight away. Will eventually go in, and okay, alongside the nade from Rage as well, does get them the kill, and now it's all on Flamey. Overtime is once again looking possible. Flamey needs to come up clutch, looking for that first kill, has done the damage, but was dinked down himself, and eventually finished off by the pistol of Rage. There it is, and overtime is going to be needed.
Oh, this game is as stressful as it could be right now for both of these teams. It ends 15-15 in regulation, and like you said, that only means one thing. We go into overtime here on Dust 2. Man, it's never easy for Navi, apparently. Overtime it is here on their map pick. And we have a quick pause here. It looks like Hard Legion are having some technical
Lost on
issues.
TeamSpeak, yeah. For the last 2 rounds, they've been having some issues with their TeamSpeak, apparently. So they've called the pause. That makes sense. They're coming into an overtime. You're in a very important game. You want to make sure everything is working for you. You don't want any factors that you can't control actually making things harder than they should be. I wouldn't imagine it'll take them too long, though, to just maybe hop onto a new TeamSpeak server.
Hopefully they'll be good to go pretty quickly. It gives us a chance to kind of chill out a bit as well, because honestly, my heart was racing there in those last couple of rounds, especially a couple of rounds coming down to clutches that could have made all the difference. Flamey at the end there had opportunities in the 1v2. It wasn't going to be easy, but he had the chance to try and clutch it. Hard Legion played it pretty well, though, especially those 2 nades that were both deployed onto the bomb site were really well placed to get that kill and to get them the advantage on the retake to begin with. It's hard to really massively favour either team whenever you head into an overtime, it feels. Navi are the ones who have come back into this game in the first place, though. And I think we're seeing enough from the Navi players to suggest that I feel like they should be able to take this heading into overtime. Like, all the players have really showed up here. They've all been pretty good. But who knows, man? Who knows?
Hawka, I think I know what the issue is. I think your mic is a bit too loud, so when people turn it up, you then become too loud if they want to hear the game sound, so they can't put it full to get me. So maybe just turn yours down a tiny bit.
Turn it down
while we have this moment, just while we have the moment and the pause, it has given us a little bit of time to react. Definitely wasn't as bad as it was before. There's people also saying technical. They had tactical pauses. They could have just called tactical pauses if that's what they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, did Hard Legion use a single tactical pause? I don't really remember.
They might have used 1 or 2, but they didn't use 4 anyway, so they still would have had some for sure.
Oh yeah,
the admin has now said this is taking a little bit too long, though, so... Okay, no, he said that he actually offered to give them a TeamSpeak because it's taking a little too long. So it wasn't kind of like, oh, this is taking too long, let's go. He said, let me provide you with a TeamSpeak, this is taking a bit too long. So cool, yeah, they said sure, they're going to hop onto that new server and we should be ready to go real soon.
There we go, creative solutions here. Always nice to see. Yeah, in terms of, in regulation there, I wonder if Navi will think back to that round where they went for that B play through the smoke. That was a massive risk they took there, and it felt like at that point they had the control of the game just with the way they'd been playing previously. That they were generally just either taking a long control or short control and then slowly working out the round win from there. But they decided to switch it up with that fast B play where they tried to go through the smoke. Forrester sprayed down 3 of them, and now Hard Legion have been able to bring us back to overtime. It is Navi sticking on that T side though, and remember, they've just played out 15 rounds of their T side very successfully. They won 10 of them to get to this point, so they should be able to keep that going here as we are ready to head into overtime.
I don't know, there's people complaining about different sound issues, so we'll have to properly fix this between series, just because it's too difficult to do while we're casting, while you're also running.
I only have a small brain, I can't handle this.
I think it's more so a limited amount of hands and eyes. Oh.
I've got 4 eyes here, so...
Sviat is up close on the door right now. He heard Electronic just kind of hopping up onto the Xbox right there, so that should be a little bit of info for them to work with. But of course, guys, now that we're live into this overtime, we are about to have this action just kicking back off any moment. We had the little pause. I'm hoping that hasn't affected any of these guys. And as you said, Navi overall certainly kind of having the momentum in their favor. Neither team having to worry about the economy right now, though, so that is a positive. As we are seeing the initial short control going to be in the goal for Navi. It's still very early on in the round. They have been contested a little bit, so I don't think we're going to really see them making any crazy decisions off the back of that molly slowing them down slightly. But they are beginning to group back up in tunnels with most of their players right now.
I think it's also worth remembering that in regulation, both teams won 10 rounds on their T side. So you've got to think that they're going to favour their T side heading into overtime here. So if you can get maybe 2 CT rounds in this overtime, you are going to feel comfortable. That molly, I don't think it's going to spread. Oh, it does. It forces Crack through, and Flamey hears it. Good pick at the start of this round, and with 35 seconds left on the clock, Navi is setting up this B split where there are plenty of Hard Legion players ready to hold.
Oh, Nicely timed molly to slow down the mid players though, so that's a big issue. Lets them focus more on tunnels as they come out, and it's going to be Forrester and Sviat just completely locking down B. And as the bomb dropped, that is 14 seconds left for Flamey and Electronic to try and recover, which is just impossible to do without that bomb. Flamey's gone, Electronic is left alone, and at this point, really, I guess, saving. I mean, they're in the overtime, so he doesn't need to, but he has no other option. He's going to move in. If he could get the up off Rage, that would have been nice, but he actually just goes down afterwards instead. He'll have enough money to rebuy, obviously, but if Navi lose this round, then they could be going into the final round of this first half of the overtime with a bit of a weaker investment, so this is a chance. Heart Legion, if they get this one, could in theory be getting themselves a flawless half to the overtime, and Navi realised that. They called in a pause saying, okay, we're going to be spending pretty much everything right now. We need to win this one.
Yeah, they're very much aware that if they lose this round, their hopes of getting into the playoffs are going to be severely decreased. Their chances of making it through are not going to be anywhere near as high if they lose this round. So a lot of pressure on Navi here. And Hard Legion just getting that first CT round already. You could argue that just getting one CT round might be enough with how this played out in regulation, with both teams finding much more success on their T sides. Hard Legion have already got a good start here, and if they can get this next round as well, they would be in such a great spot. We'll see if Navi let that happen, though. We're heading back underway. Simple still has the AWP. It's still a full buy for Navi, but not with as much money in the bank as they would want. They cannot afford to lose this round.
Not at all. I think we're going to see a bit of early aggression actually coming straight in towards mid. Boomich is moving down at the moment. Hard Legion with their setup though do have a good counter to it. As I say, that Molotov, yeah, that's going to force Kinky out of the corner, so he's back towards the spawn. That's just actually going to give them the room now to jump up again and try and work for that short control early on. You do want to be finding that then to make your decisions off of later in the round. Kinky did get spotted there as he peeked in, but a nicely timed flash and the wallbang not being connected, so not going to cost them anything for now. But yeah, good start again. Navi are able to at least get themselves the short control now, giving themselves a few options of what they can do throughout this round. But the question is now, what else are they going to be able to find? They want to try and at least get an opening before they have to move into a bomb site. Especially on B, they haven't been finding really much success back towards B at all. And I think they may have realised that themselves. 3 players being grouped up outside of the longhouse, and yeah, they're going to be trying to set up this A split. That's the goal. Krad's alone on long right now. He does spot them. I want to go through that. They're backing off now.
Yeah, look at this switch in setups from Hard Legion though. Remember last round they had 3 players stacked on the B site pretty much. This time, it is almost full focus on A. They're leaving Rage with the AWP to solo hold B, but the read might be exactly what they need. It's on point right now because Navi look likely to commit to this A site where there are plenty of CTs again positioned to try and stop them. Oh no.
Molly though,
no.
yeah, completely blinded on the bomb site as well.
Oh.
Yeah, is somehow still able to get a double kill from that. More being found, looking to try and drop Simple if he had the M4 still.
Oh, the
maybe it
bomb's
would have
still
been a little bit easier, but yeah, that's the issue. The bomb even dropping down in towards the spawn. Simple realizes a little bit of a mouse swing out of frustration as this round is done. And I mean, at least if they save the weapons, they'll have those to work with here in the following. But other than that, it's a little bit shoddy. Boomich and Perfecto do have enough for the rifles, thankfully. There is going to be 1 player left on a weaker weapon. Electronic is going to be a little bit limited, and Navi, they're looking to try and salvage at least 1 round here for their T side in the overtime. Otherwise, they are going to have to just have a flawless CT themselves just to force a second OT. And even if they get this 1 round, if they want to get the win here in the first overtime, they're still going to need to go ahead and get all the rounds on their CT side. Of course, that number that they are looking for is 19, so Hard Legion already halfway up there. Simple though, with the long spawn, was a little bit late on it, and does get smoked off unfortunately before he can really do anything.
We might need to go back and see how the hell Sviat gets away with those kills there, because he was mollied out of the site into the open. He was on like 1 health as he went into the open there, and Navi just couldn't land a shot on him apparently. He got those first 2 kills so quickly. Navi not ready for that sort of hold on the A bomb site, and it feels like Hard Legion are reading Navi really well in these first 2 rounds. They stacked A previously. It worked out for them, but this time Boomich has got the opening kill for Navi. That might be just what they needed. Rage having to back away, and Boomich with a second entry onto the A site. He's taking matters into his own hands here, as Navi look good to get this round.
Yeah, Boomich just said, screw this, I do not want to be losing this matchup. Just wrecks everyone towards A and has eventually given them the bomb site. That molly slowed it down a little bit. You only see an Electronic initially pushing forward, but he secured control at least. Eventually that bomb does go over and get planted. And now it's a very, very difficult 3-on-5 retake for the remaining players here of Hard Legion. They're going to have to try and work in together, regain the short control, and then, of course, even at that point, 2 players immediately on short with the ability to have help from more. Which came over, didn't help out too much though. Perfecto has still had an easy time being able to find Forrester, and yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot to be done here. There's going to need to be just some insane shots being connected. There's one from Rage. I could maybe let him move forward in the spawn, but then again, he still needs this player to deal with the short ones, otherwise as he's moving up, trying to make it to the ramp, he would just get peeked.
It's last round. I mean, I don't know why they're not trying to go quicker here, but there you go. Navi take a 16th round, salvaging at least a single round from their T side. But based on regulation, both teams had much more success on their T side. So now that Hard Legion have the lead, heading into their T side of overtime, they might be liking their chances here. 17 at 16 though, still anyone's game. As we head back into this second half. Both teams have got to be feeling the pressure right now. Especially because you know if you win this series, you go through. It's as simple as that. It all comes down to this series. And right now, Navi are the ones on the back foot. Trailing by 1 round as we head into this second half of overtime.
Reminder though, Hard Legion on their T side was where they found the majority of their success to kick off this match, so I'm definitely not going to be counting them out, especially as they sit up by 1 round. But Navi, we said this is where their experience should in theory be shining true for them. Do we have... I looked like Perfecto was considering pushing up in towards tunnels just by the X-ray, but nah, just holding up close on it. Nothing too crazy in the beginning of this round. This is the difference we've seen between Navi on their CT side and Hard Legion as well. Navi, pretty much all of the time, we're having electronic aggressive around this area and just making it a bit more difficult for Hard Legion to find than it has been for Navi. They were always just kind of walking up for free. Right now, restricting that control and, yeah, forcing the T's over towards B. We still see the opening still being found by Forrester, of course. This man is incredible so far in this matchup, and Svia, he finds that rotation in true mid. Simple, he hopefully will be able to return this and give them the opening, but no! Svia is just insane. 2 quick headshots. Boomich up towards the top of mid, I believe haven't been spotted as well. Left now in a 1-on-3 to deny map and serious point as Hard Legion. They pretty much confirmed it already.
Oh, this is never a position that Navi thought they'd have themselves in. They were never even meant to be here. They were meant to win this group comfortably. It shouldn't have had to come down to this last game, but now that it is, it's Hard Legion who have 2 chances to win this series, to book their spot in the playoffs here at the Road to Rio. This would be unbelievable if Navi don't make it through. They have got to be feeling the pressure right now, but they've got to step up under the pressure. Double AWP setup out. Navi can only focus on what's ahead of them. They have to play for a second overtime, and Flamey takes a bit of damage on the cross. Nothing too significant here, though, at the start of this round.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It was the opper just crossing over. He's just going to be at the back of the platform with that op anyway, so hopefully it won't be too substantial in the outcome of the round. Hard Legion, as we said, only needing a single round at this point to actually go ahead and close it out here on Dust 2. Close it out in this series 2-0, which I don't think anyone would have been expected. This has just been a crazy match between these two so far. Again, though, a little bit of a slower approach from Hard Legion on the T side. You can see even as they move towards short, they have to be really careful because, as I pointed out, Electronic has been aggressive around this position just so often, especially when you go back to the regulation. Not the case this time, though. The Molotov was put in just in case they do eventually clear out that area, but now with just under a minute remaining, they need to kind of make that decision about where they want to end it. And as they begin to focus around mid as well as having a player over towards tunnels, it would indicate that they probably will be going for that B split right now. There is 2 players there to hold it down, but there's no real rotations that are nearby to come in quickly. It's Simple there, who's kind of entrusted with helping from long. The smoke makes it a bit more difficult. He still does some decent damage and will eventually manage to finish off Dinky, but Flamey trapped in the corner, and Imperfecto on the back of the bomb site, not able to find anything either. Suddenly it's a 3-on-3. The health does favour the CTs, but the time favours Hard Legion as they have that bomb planted.
This is it. A 3v3 retake to keep Navi in this tournament on the B-bomb site. The pressure is unbelievable right now. Boomich moving in, looking for this fight, but he's not ready. Crag gets the kill. 2 more to find for Hard Legion to take victory, and Forrester finds another. It's all on Simple to be the saviour of Navi in this clutch, but the time is so far gone, and there it is. Hard Legion take the series 2-0. And one of the top-ranked teams in the world don't even make it out of the groups here at Road to Rio. That is unbelievable, Dean.
No, that was just fantastic, and that does confirm that Hard Legion are going to be making it through as well. Their seeding, I think, still depends kind of on how the Simon versus Prosto game goes, so we don't exactly know whether they're going to be first or second seed, but either way, as you said, being able to upset Navi, doing so 2-0, they took down VP in one of their last games as well. Hard Legion have impressed me massively throughout this.
Yeah, big wins for Hard Legion. Under the pressure of this game as well especially, they step up. They had some huge rounds. Forrester played incredibly well on both maps. We've got to give him a lot of props. He top fragged here on Dust 2 as well. Really good stuff from Hard Legion, but Navi, I mean, off the back of Katowice, this is just almost a complete 180. It is online CS, which obviously people are going to talk about. Navi haven't played much online recently, but still a crazy result either way. Well, that is going to be us done for our first series, but believe it or not, guys, there is more Counter-Strike action here at ESL. We've got some EU games coming up later, there are some other CIS games on right now, so make sure to stick around for all the good stuff here at the Road to Rio. All sorts of games going on, but Navi won't be participating in them, sadly. See you guys soon.